and take your notes that you need. And because that video may be pulled in the future, obviously the big key ones we throw into the Agent Resource Center. We don't get rid of them, but some of them we do if they're no longer okay. We're now on YouTube and we're also on Zoom. All right. Thanks, guys, gals. I really appreciate all of you being here. I love that presentation. Sorry for the length of time. But hey, you know, it is what it is. And I'm seeing a ton of comments, a lot of direct messages to me. I'm not able to look at them all right now, but a lot of compliments, a lot of thank you. We're going to talk about team building right now. We're going to talk about the long-term visions that you can help someone get, and we're going to talk about how to help them get it. We're going to talk about a little game plan for getting people started in an onboard process, and we're going to talk about the new app. All right. We've got a brand new marketing app. It's in beta mode right now. People are already using it. People are raving about it. You can share videos and images with people. And if they click on it, you're notified. So it's kind of a pre-stage before you send them to your replicated site. We're going to get to that in a moment. But listen, I appreciate all of you being here and investing this time. Thank you for your patience as I navigate through doing this on a whiteboard without any rehearsal or without any efficiencies. That'll come. And it's first time for everything. If anything, I want you to see how it's okay. It's okay to do things new. It's okay to do things and look back at it after and go, okay, I can improve that, but I'm proud of it. And I'm excited about this, but it can be improved, right? That's okay. That's what every engaging conversation you have should feel like. Is when you first start, it's a little more difficult, right? But over time, it gets easier. And then eventually it's second nature, right? So, it's not second nature yet for me doing a whiteboard presentation for DAC because it's the first time I've ever done it. Right. But it certainly feels good. Feel like I broke free. And I'm going to keep doing the whiteboard ones. And maybe we'll throw some slides in as well, some videos in as well. But here we are. So now we're going to talk about team building. Why are we going to talk about team building? We're going to talk about team building because our long-term business owner vision here is for you to have a team of people that you earn on, right? I mean, that's part of our pay plan. Over half of our pay plan is paid out to uplines, you, for having a team. Half of our pay goes to the people who've built teams. So you want to take advantage of that, right? You want to have some people in your team. Do you have to? No, you never have to. But should you? Yes. I'm trying to see. There we are. Okay. Should you? Yes, of course you should. So I've got some notes on the board here that we're going to go through with people, and then I'm going to go through how to build a team. And we're going to do this as brief as possible, but I'm okay talking until we're done. You getting your answers. And you can at any time check out and come back and watch it other times. Watch it in its recording state. But I want to make sure it's complete. And I want to make sure I'm talking about helping you get out of your job. I'm talking about helping you get your retirement under wraps. If you're not where you want to be, if you don't have enough put away that you can withdraw enough every month and yet not kill your balance, then I want to help you put $500,000 into your retirement or $1 million. I want to help you get enough residual income coming in. You don't need your retirement income. That's what my responsibility is as the CEO of DAC, is to create a business that works. They create products that people can market. They create products that people can earn money on and still be a great value for their customers. To create trainings and duplicate trainings and introduce you to trainers who are real, who are doing it. We don't have people train who aren't actually doing it and winning at it. We're not an ego contest. We're not a pride machine. We are a group of people who come here and say, we want the right out of integrity. Go speak if you're doing it, if you're an example, if you've gotten customers already, if you can explain it, then we want you explaining it. And so my responsibility as a CEO, as a leader, is for you to win. That's my responsibility. My nights, what tension I have that I got to literally give to God regularly is more answers, God, more answers, God. I want to help reach more people. I remember the first time I was talking to Tyler about DAC, and I said, Tyler, one of the things you got to know is 95% will never make money with us. 5%, it's just the nature of the law of the land. It is what it is. And for 20 years, I didn't accept that. And I said, Tyler, just got to understand 95%. He goes, why? I mean, that it shouldn't be that way. We should have it where most will make money. I love it. I love that heart for it, right? Me too. I have that heart. What I ask God about most is, Lord, what is it that I can do differently, say differently? What tool can we give? How can I inspire more? How can I help people believe in themselves more? How can I help the process be easier? How can we be more attractive to clients? What does our website need to say to move people to action? How do we convert more? What can we do? What more can I test? We've got people we've hired to do outbound phone calls just to test scripts. We've got people who are, we're running ads testing different landing pages before you ever see them. So we're constantly doing things, holding this steering wheel going, it's our responsibility. It's my responsibility. If I'm going to ask you to invest an hour of your time into this business, I want you to win for that hour. Now, if you get trained and do all that, but you never cross the start line to actually engage in conversations, I can't fix that. But I do take responsibility still for that. It's something that my wife and anyone who knows me well knows, David, you can't take responsibility for people's inactivity. And I don't accept that. I want to take responsibility for people's inactivity because I say I haven't inspired them enough. I haven't shown them a strong enough reason why yet. They haven't seen. Now you'll go crazy trying to get everyone off the starting gate. Anyone who's a personal trainer in a gym does not take responsibility for the condition of their customers. They take responsibility of sharing and caring and giving, but they can't take responsibility whether someone eats right or not. They can try to inspire them and plead and help. My friend, Dr. Mike Montico, lives behind me. He's my doctor, medical doctor. He's a sports physician. We do Bible study together, and he every day spends more time with a customer, a client, than they want. He really, in his heart, wants them to be healthy, get off their meds, get off their couch, get moving, get off their diabetic medication, and he really cares. And he says, unfortunately, healthcare doesn't care. Healthcare doesn't pay me to spend an hour with someone in a physical. They give me 20 minutes. I got to move 3 in an hour, or I can't pay the bills because they don't pay us anything anymore to do a physical. And yet it's the most important meeting. So there's caring. We care. That presentation was just longer because I care, not because I want to hear myself talk, but because everything I said I feel is important to share because it's my responsibility to help you win. The meeting after the meeting moved my heart and got me out of General Motors. I said, I can do that. I can do that. What he just said in front of that room, I can do it. I'm going to do it. Now let's go do it. And it was in the meeting that I got inspired to do that. So it's my responsibility to have a belief so deep that you can't shake it, that all of you can quit and I'll still move forward. That's my responsibility as the CEO of this company. And it's your responsibility as a leader. And we've got hundreds of people that way already, probably thousands actually, who believe with that level of depth. And if you don't, I encourage you to find out why and do your homework enough to figure out what it is about DAC that prevents you from having that level of belief and get it. And if you've got it, I encourage you as we start talking about team building, you gotta give it your all. You don't get to do something part way and make 6 figures. You hear about people making 6 figures a year. In 4 months into my business at General Motors, I was already at $6,000 a month. 5 months, I was at $10,000 a month, and I've not been under $10,000 a month ever since. In 5 months in this industry. Why? Because I was all out massive action. I just ran into my cousin walking down the street here in my neighborhood. He was doing work at one of my neighbor's house, and I was doing a walkie-talkie where I walk and talk. And I saw him, and I said, I saw my uncle. So I'm walking down the street. Mom, if you're hearing this, you'll get a kick out of this. I'm walking down the street, and I look 20 houses up, and I see my Uncle Roger walking up the driveway. My Uncle Roger's in his mid-80s now. And I see him walking up the driveway, but this guy's only like 60. And I'm like, he's walking just like Uncle Roger. That's my Uncle Roger, isn't it? And I get closer and it's my cousin. It's Roger's son. Well, he's now 60, right? And I haven't seen this cousin in a long time. And I said, Robbie? And we started talking. And then as we were talking, we were talking about our grandparents, and it was nice. We don't see each other much. We're talking about Christmas time and growing up on the lake, and we're going through all these discussions about our time and his dad and my dad. And we're brainstorming. It's my cousin, my dad's brother's son. So same last name as me. He's older than me, and we snowmobiles and motorcycles and boat rides and all this. We're just talking about all the fun stuff we had growing up. And we talked about our grandparents, and he said, yeah, he says, I got letters from grandpa that he wrote grandma before they got married. I said, you got to be kidding me. He goes, yeah, love letters. And it's fun just reading them. I got to see those. And he goes, yeah, I got a whole stack. Let's get together and I'll let you have them for a little while. Like I don't even, my dad knows those exist, or my mom, I gotta get my hands on those. That's our grandparents. We just all loved our grandparents so much. I'd love to see those letters. Right. And then it reminded me, and he goes, yeah, that's really all I got. And I said, I got a cookie jar. The cookie jar that when you lift the head, it was a little sheep. It had a little hat. You lift it and it goes, bah. And I could never take a cookie without it baaing, or whatever you call what a sheep does when it makes that noise. And he goes, you got that cookie jar? I said, he goes, oh, I love that cookie jar. I said, yeah, my parents got that plus a picture. There was my dad painted when the year I was born. So I got that as well. He goes, yeah, I got this. And I said, yeah, unfortunately, I was at a training that day. The day we all went over to grandma and grandpa's to go through the house and pack it all up, I was doing a training. So I didn't get to go over there and look through and rummage through and grab my favorite little toy, or, any little things. There was a sacrifice. Now, in hindsight, I would have said, hey, can you cover Saturday training? I got to go to my grandparents' house and help my family and collect some things that I want to see. Who knows what I've missed out on? Who knows what I didn't even know was there? But I was sacrificing all in every Saturday for 3 or 4 years. I led a training. There wasn't a Saturday. It didn't exist. It didn't matter that I had Michigan football tickets and we were in the Rose Bowl. I'm not going to the game. I got a training to do. It doesn't matter that my wife wanted Saturdays to do something. She's a Michigan fan too. She wanted to go. Sorry, I got a training to do. I was all out massive action, but I was all out of GM real quick too. And I was all out of needing a job real quick too. And I learned real quick what it takes to help a lot of people do real well. I was all out massive action. Now, my enroller wasn't, his enroller wasn't, his enroller wasn't, his enroller wasn't, his enrollers made over $100 million in this industry. So all those people between me and them quit. I've made millions, he's made millions, and everyone else quit. But what was the difference? I wasn't any better than any of those people between me and that guy. He wasn't any better than all the people between he and I. The difference was I'm in. I'm in and I'm making it happen. And I'm in and this is my full-time business in the making. I know I'm at General Motors right now. I know I get a car allowance. I know I get a salary. I know I can get all these cool things, but I'm turning this business into my life. And you know what happened is I won. Now, could I have compromised here and there, a day here and a day there? Yeah, I didn't have to go, I'm doing a training every Saturday, no matter what. I didn't have to do that for 4 years and 5 years. I didn't have to travel 3 weeks a month for my business once I launched it. I didn't have to, but I did because I thought I had to and I was told I should. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm not asking you to miss your grandparents' memorial or miss a whatever. I played lacrosse at Michigan and we were in the Big Ten championship the year I graduated. And my sister was getting married the same day. And I said, sorry, guys, I'm going to my sister's wedding. Now you may go, David, how do you bail on the team? I wasn't a top player on the team. I played in every game, but I wasn't the starting defensive guy. And I just chose my family or this. And I chose my family. I chose standing up in her wedding. So I'll sacrifice things that matter for the right things. And you should too. But you shouldn't sacrifice anything for convenience of, I just feel like watching movies right now, or I just feel like heading to the beach right now, or I just feel like chilling on my bike right now, or I got to exercise too. So I'm going to exercise instead of going to the training and working on my business. No, you do both. I do both. You do both. We got to do both. You don't, delaying something because something more important is up is totally fine. That's not procrastination. You're delaying. Two important things. You're choosing one over the other. You're going to do this one later. Okay, you're not going to watch the training tonight because you got your daughter's prom. Of course you do your daughter's prom, and you come watch the recording. But, well, my friends are all going to the club. Well, it's Tuesday night. It's game night. It's night to invite some people out to the meeting. It's night to go to the training. The club can wait. Procrastinate success for something less valuable, or delay success for something more valuable. Of course, you don't have to be here if it's your daughter's prom, but you do have to be here if it's not. That's what we mean by all out. You don't sacrifice your family. You don't sacrifice your faith. You don't sacrifice your health, but you do sacrifice your leisure for a little while until you have plenty of leisure. That's my responsibility to share it. It's my responsibility to do it. And it's my responsibility to encourage you that you can be special here. There's no reason you can't have 1,000 people making $50 a month. That's 50,000 in income. And you're making 30% of it, making 15 grand. There's no reason you can't have 1,000 people making $50 a month in personal commissions and you make 30% of it, which is 15 grand a month. There is not one reason you can say that anyone watching this will believe or buy that says you can't recruit seven, who recruit seven, who recruit seven, who recruit seven, and 90% don't do anything, but 10% equals 1,000 people making $50 a month. That's 50 grand and you're making 30% of it, 15,000. There's not a reason you can create. Well, David, the pharmacy is amazing. And guess what? There'll be other services. We didn't always have the pharmacy product. The funding's amazing. There'll be other services. The services we have now are currently what's in our belt. But what else is going in our tool belt? The bottom line is the principles of our company, the vision of our company, the upside of our company, the zero downsides to our company. All those things make it easier, not easy, easier to create a ripple effect of more people and more people and more people and more people. What got me out of a General Motors was a $180 water filter that you could buy at Sears for $40. I didn't know it till I already had 150 people in my team who were all trying to market these water filters for $180 that Sears had for 40. That's hard to build. Costs $5 grand to get started. What do you get? You get 40 of these water filters. That's hard to expand into a lot of people, but it still worked. This is a breeze compared to that. You can go to a Zoom meeting. You didn't have to drive 4 hours and go to a whiteboard meeting and sit here till 11 o'clock at night and then have to drive home and get up early for work. You go, man, it's late tonight. Yeah, good news, you don't have to drive an hour back home. You're already home. It's easier now. It's easier than it's ever been, but it's still not easy. It's simpler than it's ever been, but it's still not simple. You still got to do what others won't do. Others won't interrupt people and say, hey, can you do me a favor? I'm expanding this amazing product in the pharmaceutical industry. And I've got this passion to help save families money on their pharmaceutical medication. So I'm just reaching out to everyone I know just to find out if they're spending more than $20 a month on pharmaceutical medications. If so, I want to save them money. So do you mind if I ask, does your family spend more than $30? And do you spend more than 20? Yeah. Or no, we don't take medication. That's awesome. I'm glad you don't. Yeah, with this membership, and you still explain it because they know friends and family. Is membership, you don't need it. Congratulations, you're blessed. I'm glad you don't need medication. That's awesome. This membership we've launched, it's game changing. It's basically the Netflix model meets the pharmacy store. You get, for one low flat fee, $19, $20 a month, we get over 90% of the prescribed medications are shipped free to their home. It's unbelievable. Plus the ones you get at the store, the one-time use things. It's crazy. It's a game changer. We're going to put on millions of customers. So if you know anybody, by the way, you're blessed. Keep it up. That's awesome. If you know anyone who's spending a lot of money on pharmaceutical, send them my number. I'll talk to them. If you ever want me to talk to them, you let me know. And I'm happy to take care of them. In fact, is it okay if I send you my website? And that way you've got it in your inbox. If you come across them, you can just ship it out to them. My contact information. Absolutely. Done. Conversation one. Well, that's interrupting, David. It's called becoming a millionaire. It's called doing what it takes to get out of the job. It's called setting your retirement up. It's called how do you never make less than 10 grand a month? You do those type things. It's called how do you make a residual that allows you to walk away from a salary and a cushy health insurance and allow you to expand and do things and be debt free? How? You do those things. You have those conversations. Well, David, I'm not comfortable with that. Well, let's get comfortable. We're going to help you get comfortable. That's what tonight is a little bit, is to help you get comfortable building your team. All in, all in, all in, all in. I'm doing it. 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 I'm going to build a team of people who all get 200 in residual revenue. If they don't, I'm going to encourage, I'm going to ask them, why don't you have 200 residual revenue? Why aren't you talking to customers about our amazing services? Why don't you have 20 pharmacy customers yet? Why? You know hundreds of people who are overpaying right now, more than 20. Why have you not talked to them yet? Well, I don't feel like interrupting. Do you want to win here or not? Do you want to get out of your job or not? Do you want to pay off all your college education or not? My son Addison called me because, Dad, I got this great thing going. I'm really excited. I think if I do ABC, it's going to pay off all my college debt, man. He says, I'm motivated. The rest of the year, I'm doing everything. It's called a goal. It's called a goal. Do you have goals? What's your goal right now with DAC? How quickly do you want to be national director? Because you can't make under 50 grand in residual a year as an ND. When are you going to be an RVP? Because you can't make under 100 grand a year as an RVP. You can't residually. You just can't. You can't make under 50 as an ND. You can't make under 25 as an RD. You can't. So what do you want to make? Let's get to those ranks. When's your goal to become a regional trainer? When's your goal to become an area director? When's your goal to become a national director? How are you going to do it? We're going to talk about it tonight. But if you're sitting there going, I'm on a time schedule. Hey, are you all in? Well, you may be on a time schedule because of a real issue. Good news is we're recording to come back. But if you're sitting here and you've not been hungry to go make this happen, get a notepad. It's time to change. My responsibility is to help you win this darn Super Bowl. My responsibility is to coach your success. It is not to just educate you on our facts and figures of our product. It's to say, what's your reason why, and why aren't you going for it? How is it serving you to not win? I'm reading a book I just read a book actually by the Chick-fil-A founder, and it says it's easier to fail it's easier to succeed than to fail. It's easier to succeed than to fail. That's what it's called. Easier to succeed than to fail. And the whole book is full of, you know how hard it is to fail? You know how hard it is when you're getting collectors calling you and you're not sure if your phone bill is getting shut off and you're not sure if your car is going to get repoed? You know how much stress you go through when you don't know if you're going to have a car tomorrow? And then if you don't have a car, how are you going to go to your job and how are you going to feed the kids? You know how hard it is when your kids' jeans are tight because they're growing so fast and you don't have the money to pay for them? You know how hard, and you think talking to a customer about our funding is hard? That's a peanuts. Have a responsibility that you can't meet, that you're responsible for. That's hard. And you know what? Our solution is called DAC. Have your retirement not set and go, I'm going to have to work till the day I die. That's hard. That's hard. Having conversations and recruiting a team of 40 or 50 people who go, man, this is awesome. Who recruit a team of 40 or 50, say this is awesome. And all of a sudden you have 2,000 people in your team. And if only 1,000 of them are making $50 a month, they're making 50 grand and you get 30% of that, 15 grand. That is not hard. That just takes time. It's harder to have hip issues and no health care to replace your hips. It's harder to have no retirement set up and you don't have the ability to make enough money to fund it and you got to work till you're 95. It's hard when your kids have a special learning disability and the public school doesn't do it and you got to drive them to a different school and you don't have the money to take off work, yet your kid needs to go to that school and unfortunately you got to move or that kid's not getting the education they need. That's hard. I think it's hard. It's not hard to succeed. It's not hard to make $1 million. It is not hard to make $1 million. It is not hard. It's hard to not make 30 grand. It's hard to not make 50 grand. It's hard to not make 75 grand a year. It's hard to not have your bills covered. It's hard to have layoffs looming. And you go, if I get laid off, I don't know how I'm going to make ends meet. I'm already month to month. That's hard. It's not hard to make $1 million. It's not. It's just you haven't stayed dedicated to it. You stay dedicated to it, be like this. 2 years from now, you'll already be at 25 grand a month residually. That means you're making 400,000 a year. That easy. Come on. Then it's 30,000 a month. and 40,000 a month and 50. And I know my math was wrong. The point is you'll be making more money than you need. That's not hard to build a team of 1,000 people who are all making $50 each a month so that you can make 15 grand a month, not counting your bonuses, not counting your expense counts, not counting funding bonuses, not counting override bonuses. That's not hard. That's a breeze. It just takes time. Well, David, 90% won't do it. I know, but 10% will. You got 1,000 people. You got 100 who will. And if they're all just making $100, you're making $3 grand a month before you get out of bed, not counting your bonuses and overrides and all the other stuff you're making. It's not hard. It's hard to not do it. It's hard to keep coming along and not doing the work that it takes. It's hard to not recruit people and see the value of this. It's hard to be watching this right now and go, I've been doing this 2 years and I've not gone after it. I could already have my finances set up. It's hard to have health challenges and not already have your residual income where you need it to be. That's hard. It's not hard to do this business. So I know this is a recruiting training, but it's my responsibility to make sure you see how good this can be. Now, if it's not this, find something it is. If it's not DAC and you go, yeah, I'm not about building teams. I'm not about business funding. I'm not about payment processing. I'm not about RX. Why are you here? Go watch a Netflix right now. I'm not here to talk you into it. It's share what you believe, attract who believe what you believe, and let's go create a movement together. That's what we're doing. So if you're in this and you go, okay, all right, I got to break area directory. All you need is 10,000 in residual revenue, 1,000 pharmacy customers. Forget funding, forget payment processing, 1,000 prescription customers in your whole team. Do you know, I did a little test early on when we were just business funding. And I had 430 people start in my business in 90 days. 430 in 90 days. 380 of them never even watched the training, probably. But the point of the matter was, you've got a free business in your hand. Free. You've got a friend base. 90% of them don't have the retirement. 50% of the people over 50 don't have $5,000 saved for retirement. 50% of people over 50 don't have 5 grand. 50% of people over 50 don't have 5 grand. It's not about just how many businesses need our funding. How many families need our finances? How many families need our future? How many families are dependent on their Social Security to pay so they can have some substance when they retire? If you're watching this right now and you're in Social Security world and you're getting Social Security and no one ever pulled you aside and told you about something like DAC, I'm blessed to have DAC. I'm blessed to have the opportunity I had. I'm blessed. Now, I had to go looking for it, but God opened that door for me. I'm blessed that the person in front of the room was someone I went to high school with. And I'm blessed that they didn't go to college and I had, and they were making triple what I was making at General Motors. I'm blessed because if the guy in front of the room isn't someone I know who wasn't making triple what I was doing, I don't know if I say yes. I'm blessed because it changed the trajectory of my future. If you never had anyone until this moment tell you about network marketing, home-based business in a way that who's earned millions of dollars in this industry, love it, believe in it, not by hurting people, by helping people. If you've never met someone who believes in it the way I believe in it, and so you don't have this yet in your track record of something you've done, if you've judged it, hey, Christianity, I'm a Christian. I'm a born-again Christian. I confess with my mouth and believe in my heart Jesus was real, that he was the Son of God, that he died, that 3 days later he rose and went to heaven, and those who believe in him will have eternity. And actually that Jesus will send his counselor, the Holy Spirit, to counsel me and come alongside me. I believe that with everything I'm got, and you can't tell me I'm wrong. Now, you don't have to believe that. And with that same belief, I believe this industry can change your life. Change your life. We've got the big upfront money, but you don't need it. Because I never had it when I made full-time income in this. It's nice for people who need it now to have it. You don't need the area director overrides and coding, but isn't it nice to have it? You don't need 15 free websites. You only need one, but isn't it nice to have them all? So I believe you guys are in position like no other company in the network marketing space. Because every time I see something I think we need, we launch it. We've got a brand new app that went live Monday in beta mode. Beta just because, we haven't had enough users using it to see what's wrong with it. But it's already live. And guess what? We're spending thousands on developing it and thousands monthly, so you don't have to spend a penny. Now, if you got an issue with how long something takes to launch, we can speed it up if you want to pay for it. We're doing things wise. This isn't about a short sprint. This is about a 50 year from now. You don't have to worry about your grandkids' residual still getting paid. That's what this is about. This is about making RVP something in your rearview mirror 2 years from now. Your RVP, it doesn't take but a year. We're going to have people do it in 90 days. We don't have that yet. But we're going to have people do this in 90 days. We've never had a residual service for them to do it with. You only need 100,000 in residual revenue divided by $10. That's, 10,000 pharmacy customers. It's 1,000 people in your team, all with 10. You go, David, I don't have 1,000 yet. Guess what? You will. You will. People are going to college right now, 5-year plan, 4-year plan. I went to college. I did the 5-year plan. I graduated high school. I had about a 2.0. My dream was to go to Michigan. Michigan wouldn't even look at my application with a 2.0. So I went to Macomb Community College. In the first year, I was all entrepreneurial. I dropped out of half the classes. I went a whole year in college. I became better at ping pong, better at foosball, better at my job, better at being an entrepreneur, and didn't learn anything in college. I had to withdraw from every class. My poor mom and dad, they paid for classes that I didn't even finish. So I got 1 year out of high school and I got no college credits. 1 year out of high school, still 0 college credits and a 2.0 in high school. Yeah, I own a couple businesses on the side and I'm making a little money. I got jobs, but academically done. And blessed, a friend of mine says, actually, I was dating a girl and that I met at a General Motors Institute party at a fraternity. I'm going to the smart people's parties and I find out, I meet this girl who says, David, why aren't you trying harder in school? Well, yeah, I want to be an entrepreneur. And yeah, but why wouldn't you have a college degree? I don't understand. Well, my grades suck. I couldn't get in anywhere. I mean, where am I? I'm already going to Macomb Community College because I can't go away to school anywhere. She goes, you can transfer to a university. You can go 2 years undergraduate at a community college and you can transfer. Like, what do you mean you can transfer? Yeah, you don't have to, if you don't get in as a freshman, it's okay. You can go later. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I go to my buddy Frank. I said, Frank, I heard this thing. He goes, so did I. He says, I'm going to transfer to Michigan. I'm like, you heard about transferring? Yeah, I'm going to go to Michigan. He's at the community college too. And I'm saying, why are you going to go to Michigan? He goes, because I've always dreamed about going to Michigan, but I couldn't afford to go out of high school. He had good enough grades. And I said, well, how are you going to go? He says, you just transfer. You go 2 years at community college, much cheaper. And then you get a good GPA and you apply and they'll transfer students. And I called the counselor at Michigan and I said, hey, my high school transcript sucked. I dropped out of classes I was getting A's in because it was during lunch hour. My buddies, I wanted to be with them. I wanted to play sports. My first year of college, I withdrew from almost every class except drafting. And so because I wasn't going and I was, so I just withdrew rather than having a D. What do I got to do? And she goes, you're going to have to get all A's for 2 years and we won't look at your first year and we won't look at your high school transcripts, but you're going to have to get all A's for the next 2 years if you want us to ignore everything else. You know what? So you don't have retirement right now. So you don't have your student debt already paid for. You don't already have yourself at national director. You don't already have yourself at RVP. You don't already have yourself at the rank you want to be. And you've done bad in your high school. You did bad in your first year at DAC college. And you know what? It doesn't matter. The book's not over. Your DAC career is not over or you wouldn't be here. You would have quit and went away and said, my DAC career is behind me. But you know what happened? I said, hey, if there's a will, there's a way. And you can say the same thing, right? 2 years later, I was at Michigan. And you know what? Nobody that I knew believed I would, except Frank. And Frank was there. And my girlfriend, Morgan's mother, was there. We all said, we're doing this. And four of us came together and we said, forget everyone else. All our buddies who are focused on all their things and they don't believe we're going to do it. Who cares? We're not taking the tradition away. We're all going to Michigan. And all four of us, 2 years later, we're in Michigan. And you know what? That's not a big deal for some of you because you got real good grades in high school. For me, it was one of my proudest moments because I was able to overcome my stupidness. I was able to overcome my ignorance. I was able to overcome my irresponsibility. I was able to overcome my unwillingness to go to class. My whole first year in college, I was playing ping pong and foosball in the community center. And my class is starting in 10 minutes, but I'm still playing, just stupid, immature. So if you've been immature about your DAC business and you haven't done what it takes yet, and who cares? Start over. Start over. Start today over. And just like that counselor said to me, you're going to have to get all A's. You're going to have to get after it. You're going to have to start having conversations. You're going to have to actually make a list and start doing. We're going to go through a training here pretty quick. But what matters most is how hungry are you? I was hungry to go to Michigan and transfer, so I got all A's. I wasn't hungry the first year. I was hungry to hang out, play foosball and ping pong. I didn't know what I was going to do. Going to get a drafting degree and guess become a draftsman at General Motors. I don't need to get all A's. I just need a 2-year degree. What did you join DAC for? Is it a 2-year degree? Just make a little bit of money, just check it out? Or did you come here to make $250,000 a month? Did you come here to make $250,000 a year? Did you come here to make $25,000 a year? There is no ceiling here. So what is it that you came to do? So I transfer into that college and I'm going to school there and I'm doing well in school as a junior, transferred in as a junior. And the guy I'm living with is the captain of the lacrosse team. And we're playing football together. And he's like, you're pretty athletic, Dave, and you're a big guy. You should come out for lacrosse. I've never picked up a stick. I don't even know what lacrosse is. We didn't have it in our high school. And he said the same thing as this time. Hey, you go home on spring break and you work on it, your stick skills. I'm telling you, you're athletic. We could use you on the team to help play defense. I'm telling you, if you do it, I can get you a tryout. You got to go work on it though. And you know what? What a challenge. Go make $250,000 with DAC. Where's your challenge? Where's your hunger? That was like, you got to be kidding. Okay, I'm going to figure out how to play lacrosse. Spring break, I'm not going. I'm going to throw the ball against the wall over and over, switch hands. This way, this way, this way. I'm going to figure out how to stick handle. I'm going to figure out how to shoot this way, left hand, right hand. I'm going to figure out how to do it all during spring break. And I'm going to come back and wow him. And I'm going to make that team. And I'm going to walk on that field. And I'm going to, all that silly stuff. But it's not silly when it's a passion, when it's a dream, when you say, hey, you just challenged me. I'm going to go do that. Go make $1 million with DAC. Go out there and build a team of 1,000 people, help them make 1,000 to make 100. So they're making 100,000 and you're making 30% of that every month, 30,000 a month, plus another override of 20% and another coding bonus of 15%. And why not make 70,000 a month? Why is it only for the people who are at the VP level of the corporation or the people who took that company public? It's not. It's for you. But you know what? Just like going on that lacrosse field, and my coach was just put in the Hall of Fame, and he said to me, David, I've never met someone more hungry because you sucked. You were the most improved player on the team, not because you're really good, but because you were really bad. But your hunger and your dedication, I couldn't not have you on the team. You finished the laps before everyone else. You finished the sprints before everyone else. You did more push-ups than everyone. You just worked harder than everyone, but you couldn't play on the field. But you know what? Are you doing that in your business right now? This is not about David Rutz and his lacrosse. It's about, all it is decision. You go, you know what? I'm done with not winning in DAC. I'm done with not building a team who does this. I'm done with tolerating people who are whiners who don't actually work. I'm done with people who aren't willing to have conversations with customers. I'm done with it. I'm building a performance team. I'm going to go get myself to RVP. I'm going to get myself to 100,000 residual revenue. I'm going to get myself to 6 figures a year. I'm going to go get it done. That's what you got to say. And then you got to be all out. My Facebook post today, you don't have success without being all out into it, committed. Are you there? If not, it's okay. Just don't expect success. But it's a small percentage if you go, I get it. Yep. Yeah, that's it. Next time I go to a business opportunity meeting, I'm going to have people with me. This is not entertainment. I'm not going to see Dave do another presentation. Next time there's a recruiting training, I'm going to make sure my whole team's on because I want to get out of my corporate job. I want to get myself set up. I want to have a $500,000 in the bank and be making 40 grand a month and be able to buy whatever I want to buy. That's what I want. And I can't get it by sitting back and treating this like high school. I can't get it by sitting back and treating this like a hobby. I got to get after this. I got to build this business with some passion, with some purpose. I got to go out there and make a difference. And you know what'll happen? 6 months from now, 6 months from now, 6 months from now, you'll be an RVP. Not 6 years. And if you get everything you got and you're real bad at it, if you give it everything you got and everyone you call about the pharmacy, you only get 1 out of 20 customers. Well, guess what? You'll be at 20 after 400 calls. You only need to get 20. You could be awful and still get 20. You can trip your way to 20. But if you never put your shoes on and never walk, you're not even going to trip. So you can't even trip to 20. You can trip to 20 funding clients. You can trip to 20 payment processing clients. You can trip to 200 reps. How many people you got to talk to have 200 start this for free? 200 front lines. How many people you got to talk to? 500. You talk to 500 people. Hey, you interested in making money outside of what you're doing, man? I'm a part of this crazy good business. There's no investment required. You can make big bonuses now and tremendous residuals down the road. And we're looking for some self-starting superstars. You interested in making some real good money in your own business? We got all the training you need. You interested? Nah, I'm good. No problem. Next. Say that 100 times and you'll have 30 go-getters. Say that 100 times and you'll have 30 go-getters. Well, David, I don't know if I can say that. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. You flip the switch. Just like I didn't know how to throw a lacrosse stick. 5 games later, I'm a starter. I didn't know how to play, but I learned how to play better than anyone on my team at defense in 5 games because every day I was working on it hard. Every day you got to work this hard and you'll be a millionaire here. A millionaire. David, you're over pumping it up. I'm not charging you a fee. I can legally say this. I can legally do whatever I want to do. The FTC can't do a thing to me for telling you you can make $1 million because we're not about to charge you $500. Where they get mad is when you entice someone to spend money. You're not spending a dime here. You can make $1 million here. I was on the phone with someone out of Miami who I literally talked to in a restaurant when he was 19, and he's literally making millions a year still right now. And he hasn't been active in over 10 years. He believed what I believe. So if this is overwhelming, I understand. I'll take it down a notch for a minute and talk to the people who are a little overwhelmed with this type of big talk. It sounds a little enticing, Dave. It sounds a little dreamy. It sounds a little far-fetched. Okay, they can all be far-fetched. But it's not far-fetched to me. So let's take it a little down. Do you think you can get to 40 people who are all making $1,000? I'm sorry, 40 people all making $100 a month in residual revenue? 40 times 100 is what? 4,000. And you're making 25% through 7 levels and 30% area director override, which you'd be an area director. So you're making 55% of their money. What did I say? 100 people making, I don't know what I said, 4,000, I think you said. I said was the commissions. What's 4,000 times 55%? 2,000 a month. You're making 2,000 a month. On 100 people making 40. You don't need 50,000, but there's nothing that should stop you from getting to 50,000. I plan to have 1 million qualified agents in DAC. 1 million qualified agents. You know how small that is as a company? Well, David, that's actually pretty big. Well, yeah, it's pretty big. But we'll probably have 8 million people join this business. We're only talking about 30% of them, 20% of them being qualified with 5 customers, $50 residual revenue. That's it. Well, that may take 40 years. Amway's doing billions. Do you think they had a vision to just go, yeah, we're going to make a little bit of money and retire ourselves? No, they had a vision the American way. They're capitalists, they're entrepreneur. They want to find a way. In this business, I believe, is even a better model. But we got the same purpose. Chick-fil-A does something well. We got the same purpose. What does it have to do with recruiting? It's called belief. It's called belief. And someone shared belief with me. I bought it, hook, line, and sinker. And I got out of General Motors. My enroller didn't believe. His enroller didn't believe. His enroller didn't believe. They're all still employed in jobs, and I don't know their situation. But if his enroller believed, and he owns a company called ACN today. I know this is a recruiting training. And I asked God before I started to share with me what I'm, like I told you, I really do take responsibility. And I asked my counselor, Holy Spirit, I believe I can hear. I believe that it's real. And I believe when I close my eyes and think, Lord, you know what I'm trying to do here. You know, I want to honor you. You know, I care about every single person in our company. You know, I want to say the words that help them move across that start line. So lead my conversations. This isn't about my pride. This isn't about my business profitability. This isn't about my personal performance. This isn't about me being likable. This is not about me, you liking me and commenting positively about me. It's not about me looking good on video. It's not about any of that. It's about my responsibility is to give the seeds so that God can take you and turn the seed into the harvest, which is a successful business person with us. So whatever I'm sharing, it's not scripted. But as I share it all, it's very emotional for me because my enrollers and their enrollers and their enrollers, there's one guy named Robert Hollis who took me under his wing, and he lived in Montana, and he was 5 levels up from me. But he said, David, I see your hunger. I see it. And I'm telling you, I'll drive out to Michigan and see you over and over and over and over again if you're serious about getting out of General Motors. And he would drive from Montana to Michigan in his old Mercedes. Old now is new then. And he drove me to Boston to training, and he drove me to Chicago to training. We traveled all around training together, going to trainings. He took me under his wing and he believed. And so that was serious for me. And this is no joke. This is no joke. You can make football player money here. You can make basketball player money here. There's a Netflix thing called Broke right now. It's about people who come into millions of dollars so quick, they're broke as soon as they get done playing. You don't come into millions quick here. You got to earn your way to millions here. You actually got to build a team, get customers, take care of customers. You got to do the thing. You got to learn how to become a good, responsible leader. You got to have responsibility and take responsibilities for others' success. You got to care about their success, help them get the reason why. You got to be willing to say tough things like, guys, you're not doing this or that. You got to be willing to do certain things. But because you do that, you'll eventually have a team of people producing, and you'll make significant money, and you won't blow it. You won't blow it because you didn't fall into it. You built it. And until you're who you need to be to build it, it won't build. Until you care about customers right away, you won't get customers. Until you're thinking about what's in it for them before your commission, you won't get customers. When you start thinking about how this is helping them, you're going to get a lot of customers. When you start thinking about how this is going to help your neighbor with their business, you're going to help them. When you see that guy or that gal and you say, I can help them escape the rat race, man. You don't have to say that to them. They don't, you may insult them and they go, what do you mean? Maybe I don't want to escape the rat race. Maybe I'm fine where I'm at. You don't need to insult anybody, but you can in your head go, I know that I've got a business here that literally can get them business ownership where they can get out of their job or get out of debt or get out of that retirement not being ready or get out of whatever it is that's making them not feel so good about themselves. I can help encourage them and lift them up and help them win. I'll come along and be their partner and help them get customers. I'll come along and be their partner and help them build a team. I'll come along and be their partner and help them win. It's my responsibility as a leader to help them, not earn on them, help them win and earn a percentage. That's my responsibility. Man, I could help so many people. If you've got that attitude and then you just go do it, You're okay with those who say no. You're okay with those who get in and decide, I'm not going to do it. You're okay with that. But you won't be okay with the people who are trying and not succeeding, man. You'll come along and you'll give them all the time they need. You'll want to be there with them. You'll say, hey, let me help you make some calls. Let me see what you're doing. I see you're really trying and you're not having the success yet. I want to help you. That's what you're going to do if you really, really, really care about helping the other people. And then you're really a leader, and then you can't lose. You can't lose. Your business will grow. It may not grow as fast as you want, but it's going to grow. It's going to grow. It's going to grow. And over time, at some point, the size of your company creates an income that's more than you need. But the beautiful thing is about our industry, and I've never seen this not the case, as soon as it grows to the point where it hits the income that you need, that's beyond your needs, it doesn't stop. It keeps growing. If you build it with the integrity and character of helping others, it keeps growing. It doesn't stop. It keeps growing. It keeps growing. And eventually your income is, you got to find ways to give it away or stash it away. It's just accumulating. It's just accumulating. It's not being spent. It's just accumulating. And if you're living a month to month where you spend what you make right now, that's okay. I've had cars repossessed. I've had houses foreclosed. I've had my own. That's why I say it's harder to fail than it is to succeed. It's harder to fail. It sucks. It'll take your life away. You'll be miserable. There's nothing like shame, the shame of not being able to make a car payment. There's nothing like shame of having your electricity bill delayed and you got to call and go drive down to make a payment. The shame of that. That's pain compared to, no, I'm not interested in that RX product. Thanks, though. No, I don't need funding. I think that's a little expensive. Okay. That's not shame. That's not pain. That's called prospecting. And you're not responsible for the outcome. You're not responsible for their outcome. They get to say no. That's not painful. Painful is you find out one of your family members needs a surgery and they don't have it, and you can't help them either. And you're all looking around. And you can't do anything about it because you didn't set yourself up yet. That's pain. If I never would have got into that college, I would have never got that job. Eventually, I had to flip a switch and go, I'm getting into Michigan. I'm going to do what it takes to get into that school. And then I'm going to do what it takes to get good enough grades to get job offers. You got to do that too with this business. I'm going to do what it takes to become a qualified agent, and then regional trainer, and then area trainer, and then area director. I'm going to do what it takes. So enough of the belief stuff, but I can tell you what, it's all that's needed. Because once you believe, if there's a will, there's a way. All that means is if you believe that much that you want it, you don't need a map. You don't need a map at that point. Maps are usually judged by people who don't want to do it. Well, if they had this, well, if they had that, well, if they did this, well, if the brochure was that color, well, if the website was a little easier to find the links, well, if the app was this instead of this, those are all the people who don't want to do the job. I'm not saying things can't be improved, but when you got a will, you don't need a map. You find a way. So anything you have is it, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's wow. Now we got an app to help us too. Oh, look at this. Now they got more social squares to help us too. Wow. Oh, look at that. Now they've got this to help us. Now they got that. Now the Bank Breezy's got more funders. Wow. Holy cow. Now we got this RX consumer product. That's attractive to more people. Wow. This business is getting better and better and gooder and gooder and gooder and gooder because they got a will. So everything supports their way. It's the people that don't have a dream and don't have that determination and don't have that I can be somebody yet with this company. I can have my dreams come true yet with this. The people who don't have that yet find everything that's wrong because they got walls all around them and why they can't make it. So everything's a wall. For those who have a will, everything's a doorway. Get out my way. I'm on this. I'm going. I'm going, I'm going, I'm going, I'm going, I'm going. And you're not stopping me. And you're not stopping me. And you're saying, no, it's not stopping me. And you're saying, this is not stopping me. And you're saying this. I remember my first week being in DAC. I talked to someone I respect who's done very, very well in business. And he said, I could never market that funding, David. That's usury rates. It's like criminal. And had I listened, we wouldn't have funded almost $500 million so far. having funded thousands of businesses we've helped get funding. Had I listened to that person's opinion, DAC wouldn't exist. You can't listen to other people's opinions just because they got good ideas and other things. You either believe or you don't. And when you believe, you can say to yourself, no, 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 no. I know this is expensive. But the business owner can say they don't need it. But if they got a good idea, this money's free because the profits are going to pay for it. Now, you don't have to say it with that intensity, but you better be protecting your mind. You don't come in my room with white carpet and dump mud on it. I'll throw you out the front door. Why would you protect? Take your shoes off, please. Yet you let them in your mind. Can you please remove your shoes when you come in the house? We got to take care of our carpet. Okay. Yet you let them drink and talk nonsense in your head. You watch TV channels that speak garbage into your mind, but you protect the edging of your lawn. Not saying you, but people. That's what's at risk. We don't get to allow people to mess with our edging in our mind. We don't get to allow them to mess with our passion and our heart for our business. You got people who die for their faith. You should die for your business. Now, I'm not saying die for DAC, but you should be willing to lay down your intentionality in front of anyone who disagrees and say, sorry, you're wrong. You don't even have to say the words. You're wrong. You're wrong. This is an amazing opportunity with an amazing pay plan, with amazing integrity amongst all the leaders. We turn off all the people who want to make money on people. We turn them off. They can't make money here. You can't find someone to invest $900 into this business. You got people selling memberships for $149 a month just to create a pay plan. The product costs $3. They just put a bunch of stuff on a wall and say that's $149 a month, and they're paying $120 out to the field, and then they think they're going to be around 40 years from now. Ain't going to happen. There's 100 companies like that. What do we work on? A product that people want, a service people need, and always add valuable services, and then provide a business that has no downside, nothing but upsides. It's not a guaranteed success, but it's a guaranteed no loss of money to the company. You may lose time, you may lose heart space, you may lose some dreams, you may not make it, you may lose some friends. This is why I got to be in the field, because I believe so much in what we're doing. I believe so much, or I wouldn't have launched this company. I believe so much in what you can have here, but it hurts to believe this much and talk to some people who don't believe it. It hurts. It's like when you're talking to your kids and you know something that's good for them, about a relationship they're in, about some self-esteem issues maybe they're having, about something. You just know they're in the wrong relationship, or you just know that man, you wish they could see how you see them, but you can't make them see it. All you can do is pray and encourage. Same thing here. Well, folks, we're going to talk now about a simple system, but this belief is what matters more than anything. Without the belief, the plan doesn't matter. And with belief, plans aren't needed. That's the cool thing. That's why it's the secret ingredient. It's the secret ingredient. So what we're going to do, we're going to build a team. We're going to get to RVP. Minimum. If you want to build a long-term residual, minimum, you're going to RVP. Minimum, 100,000 residual revenue in your team. Minimum. Income to you, no less than 100,000 a year. The good news is for AD, ND, RD, RVP, whatever the group requirements are, you can't make less than that residually. So if you want to make 50 grand a year, become a national director, you can't make less than 50. Regional director, you can't make less than 25 residually. So shoot for that, because that's kind of like a breakaway income. Some of you go, dude, I need a lot more than 10 grand a month. I've got you. Well, then you're above, you got a great income already. You're above average income. You've already got a pretty nice lifestyle. If you're spending more than 10 grand a month on your lifestyle, you're upper class income, right? And so you may need 20. Well, then you don't have a problem. If you're already making 10 grand a month in your job, then you know you can get to RVP gold, make $250,000 a year, 20 grand a month residual, whatever, right? So this is the goal. This is the first check mark of I'm free. I'm free. Most people can quit a job with this. Most people can raise a family with this. Most people can put themselves in a free, flexible state right here and go, man, the currency of flexibility is awesome. I love not having to get up. I love every day being like a weekend. It is the coolest thing for Tuesdays to be like Sundays. Oh my gosh, it is the coolest thing to be able to get in the car and go somewhere on Wednesday and have the park empty because everyone's at a job and we get the front of the line. We go to Cedar Point on a Wednesday, no one's there. We go to Disney World on a Wednesday, no one's there. This is awesome. Go on weekends, it's like do 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 do. Go on the water, go fishing on Saturday, it's packed. Go water skiing Saturday, waves all over. There's boats everywhere. Go on Tuesday, the lake's all yours. Flexibility. Don't have retirement set? Student loans, 1-year planned RVP. Get to 100 grand residual revenue. 200 personal is all you need. And you're there. So that's where we're going. Okay, that's your long-term residual income. Now, from there, go RVP, silver, gold, platinum, SVP, go do all that. And then it's collecting RVPs. I'm going to have 10 RVPs. I'm going to have 20. I'm going to have 50. I'm going to have 100. I'm going to have 200. I'm going to have 400. I'm going to have 1,000 RVPs in my group. Man, I'm going to be a conglomerate. Okay? You can. So, no one's done it yet, but you can. So here's the start. When you start someone, and hopefully you've already done this, they need to read their welcome letter. You need to make sure they did. They need to go in their back office. You need to make sure they know how. They need to know what their links are and how to find them. You need to make sure they know them. It's your responsibility. These are your responsibility to make sure, well, David, they need to be an independent rep. I understand. But why do high school football coaches exist if every kid is all going to go out there and run the plays anyway? Why do you need coaches in anything if people, well, they should know what to do? I understand they should dig on their own. But if you're helping them and encouraging them, aren't they more apt to read their welcome letter? Hey, did you read your welcome letter yet? No, I saw that, but I haven't read it. Why don't you open it up? Let's read it together right now. That's called leadership. No, David, I don't know that I want to do that. Okay, then don't say you want to be a leader. What's a teacher do? You know what, David, open your book right now. Let's look at this chapter. Let me help you read this chapter. Your test was a little long. Let's go look at this together. In fact, come up to my front desk. Let's sit down here. Let's go through the questions together. It's teaching. It's leading. You want them to stick around? Help them stick. I've never said that before. Wow, that's pretty good. Okay, thank you, God. So you go through the welcome letter with them. You then make sure they know what their back office is, where to get it. What's the difference between back office and agent resource center? People don't know till you show them. Make sure they know what their links are. You know what? We can show you of all the people we send the welcome letter to, less than a third open it and read it. But everyone does who you call and say, let's read it together. 100% of them do. 100% of them do. Do you want to make sure they've read it or not? Okay. Recording paused. YouTube still working? Good. I don't know who paused the recording. If you guys can turn that on. I don't think we need it because it's going to YouTube, but anyway. So 100% will read this if you make sure they understand it. 100% will make sure the back office if you go through with them. 100% will know their links if you go through with them. Hang on, I got to get this recording going. Resume. There we go. Okay, cool. 100% will know about the app if you tell them about it. Now, do you know about the app? Have you downloaded the app yet? And are you using it yet? Okay, we're going to give a link here. I don't know if any of the support team's on right now and they can share the link. If not, I'll share it in a little bit. But there's a link in the app. And basically, I'm going to hold the app in a minute. We're going to come back for the app. Don't share the link yet, actually. I don't want people pulling that up and getting distracted. We'll share the link to the app in a minute. But there's a marketing app that'll help you share images and graphics, and it's a middle page before they go to your website that you can track, and you can see, wow, they've opened the video, they watched the video, wow, they've clicked on the link, wow, they clicked on the link 3 times. You're notified, you get alerts, you can set follow-ups. It's really cool. And it's free, and it will always improve, but it's already pretty darn good. So you get that. They got to know about these things, and it's your responsibility to make sure they do. Of course, this one's brand new, but once you've done that, that's your start. That's the start. Now, if you say, well, David, no one did that with me, guess what? Guess what? No one taught me how to play lacrosse either. I had to go figure it out. No one told me what I had to do to get good grades in college. I failed in high school, and yet I figured out how to get good grades in college. Why? When there's a will, there's a way. It's simple. So, well, no one showed me this yet. Okay, well, where's your will? Where's your will? Because we've sent you an email with the welcome letter. We sent you links to the back office. We sent you links to the training. We remind you every week that the calendar's never changed. We give you everything you need. You just got to show up. And if you're not showing up, don't blame your enroller. Show up, give yourself a will, and make some success happen. Now, with that said, as a leader, don't allow that person to miss stuff because they don't yet have a strong will. Help them figure out the reason why. So you're going to go through this with them. Then the next thing is vision. You want to know their vision. Long-term or now money. Which one are they doing? You got to know this. Ask them. And I'm going to ask you, are you here for the long-term? Are you here for the now money, or both? Okay. Long-term residual, you want 50 grand or more a year. You got to be ND for 50 grand. You got to get RVP for 100 grand. Okay. That's where we're going. That's what you're shooting for. You're shooting for RVP. Dude, I'm going for SVP. I want to be an equity owner in this company. Cool. You can do that too, but let's get to this position along the way. Let's get to this position along the way. That's where you're going. Cool. Long-term doesn't have to mean 2 years. It could be 6 months. It could also be 6 years. The good news is this now money is still available now if you need now money. So you're going to build this. Someone goes, I've already got a job. I'm making good money. I work at General Motors. I've already been here 22 years. I don't plan to leave early, but I'd love to build this for my long-term, better than my pension, better than my retirement. I got some money saved, but I'd love to have a $20,000 a month retirement income coming in from my new business. Okay, let's get you to RVP. Let's get you to RVP Gold over the next 5 years. While you're done 5 more years, you're done with teaching. Yeah, 5 more years, you're done at General Motors. 5 more years, you can be an SVP. Okay, let's set a 5-year plan. So let's get you to RVP this year. You got a reason. You're making 10 grand a month here. Now you know you're on your way. Now build 5 or 6 RVPs and boom, all of a sudden you're making 25 grand a month and you're where you need to be. And all you did was duplicate you. I can do this, Dave. I can do this. Cool. So you got to know this. Which one is? So before we talk about recruiting the team, what are we going to do with the team? Right here. You're going to make sure they go through this. You're going to find out what's your vision. Are you looking for long-term money or now money? Which one is it and how much is it? Which one and how much? Which one and how much? Well, it is $3,000 a month and it's residual. Okay. How much time are you willing to put into this business to get to $3,000 a month? Well, I'll give it 2 weeks. Okay. You shouldn't start because you're not going to get to here in 2 weeks. Do you have a job that pays you that much in 2 weeks? Could you start a job tomorrow? Well, yeah, I actually could. I could go get a job at, are you making that now? No. Okay. Well, go get that job that'll pay you that, since you know you can get one real quick, and then you don't need it here, and then we'll build it to long-term and let's get it to 30 and get you out of that job. But let's be realistic. So long-term or now money, which one are you going for? And I'm asking all of you. I just shared a link on Monday. I said, reach out to me. I'm reaching out to all of you and any one of you. I had one guy call me. I'm not going to say who he is. He's literally in the hospital bed right now. He had a stroke last week. And he said, David, I watched your video and I'm not prepared right now. I'm not where I need to be. And it scared the heck out of me that I had a stroke and I need to build this like I've never built it before. I said, great. When are you going to be out of the hospital? He said, I'll be out June 10th or whatever, June something. I said, great. As soon as you get out, until then, rest. He's probably watching right now. I said, rest. Don't do anything right now. Rest, do what you got to do for your health, because it doesn't matter what you do if your health isn't good. So get your health set. When you get out, let's rock and roll and let's get you set up. Let's get you to RVP in a year. 1 year from today, we can be looking back and you'll have your finances in place. 1 year from today. 1 year. Let's do it. Let's do it. And I'm saying the same thing to all of you. Every single one of you can be RVP in less than a year if you want it, and you'll be making 6 figures a year. Some of you have jobs making 8 grand a month. That's awesome. What kind of flexibility do you have? Do you get to go away for a month? Do you get to get in your boat and go for a month and not check in? Or do you have to be there? I can't wait to send videos of people who are in our company making residual income and say, here's Lisa, she's in Australia right now. She hasn't checked in with her team in 4 months because she's living the lifestyle that we promised. That once you build it, you can go enjoy it. You don't have to check in with all your team. You've got your lieutenants running the business now. You're an inspiration. Go do your thing and keep sending videos back of what it's like to live the life you want to live and not have to be working every single day. And watch what that does. That'll do more for your team than calling them every day. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? You got the lieutenants. This is what network marketing does. This is what this $10 residual revenue pharmacy product will do. This is what the $4,000 average funding commission will do. $80,000 times 4%, 3,200. Get one every single month. Also, you're making 8%, and you're making $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month on one funding a month. That's what this business can do. So which one are they? And even if they say, I'm now money, no problem. You still got to do the 200. You still got to get to 200. You still got to do this. You still got to become a qualified agent with 5 residual. Well, David, I'm looking for now money. You're going to get it. You're going to lead with funding. I get it. But you also have to get to 200 residual revenue. Why? You got to get to 200 residual revenue because then no matter what, you make 10% match bonus on anyone you enroll. So you want to do it. That's part of our plan. You got to get to residual revenue so you're always qualified. In the pay plan, you got to get to 200 residual revenue. Well, I don't even know if I want, do you believe in the company and the plan? Are you going to duplicate our plan to go get those customers? David, I don't want to get pharmacy customers. Okay, then you don't want to do it the DAC way. You go ahead and do funding, but don't duplicate team growth because our team growth is this. And you can't ask other people to do this if you're not doing it. You can't, I don't care if you've gotten 5,000 funding clients. That pays 0 residual revenue. It doesn't qualify you for anything. It made you a bunch of big bonuses, but it doesn't qualify you except for a short period of time when they first get funded. It produces 0 residual revenue long-term, just short-term. If you stop getting customers, if you want to take and retire, you're not qualified to get paid on your team because you have no residual revenue. You're not qualified to get 7 levels. You're not qualified to make 25% through 7 levels of your team. Yeah, you can make huge bonuses and you can make nice overrides as long as you're actively getting customers. But God forbid you have a reason you can't get customers and you don't get paid on your team. So we're protecting you by saying, get your 200 at least. Go get 20 residual revenue, 20 pharmacy customers and 20 residual revenue. Well, David, I'm going to do it with payment processing. Okay, you can do that too. If you want to do that, go ahead and do it. If you think you can do it that way easier, do it. But do you know any families spending more than $30 a month? Why wouldn't you tell them about it? Why wouldn't you share it? It's like, why wouldn't I share with every business owner I know the payment processing? Why wouldn't I share with every business owner I know that I could help fuel their growth if they got ideas and need funding to do it? Why wouldn't I share with them the healthcare if they're spending too much on healthcare right now and they're a business trying to make it? Why wouldn't I share? So first thing you want to know is now money or long-term money. Here's your qualifications you want to do to get to here. First thing you got to do is get qualified associate. You need your 5 at 50. 5 pharmacy customers, $50. Get qualified. You're qualified for 3 levels and you've already done your thing to be an example. That's your first there. Are you there yet? Are you there yet? Go get there. It's Tuesday. Get there by Saturday. Just go talk to enough people that have 5 people say, yeah, I want it between now and then. I don't know how many that is. It may only be 5. It's at least 5 though. It's at least 5. Can't do it by talking to 1. You at least got to talk to 5. Reach out. I already gave you a script earlier on what you can say. So get your 5 customers and then get the team trainer. And team trainer is 100 residual revenue and 250 in your team. How do you do that? You recruit 5 people to do this. Just recruit your 5 and say your first step is become qualified. Get qualified, find 5 who qualified. Get qualified, find 5 who qualified. Get qualified, find 5 who qualified. And you've already got team trainers. And now what do? You duplicate it again, you're an area director. You just keep building the bricks called team trainers. Team trainer is $300, actually $350 in residual revenue. 30 of those, and you're at 10,000. 30 of them in your team, and you're at 10,000 residual revenue. You're an area director. You already got a car allowance. You already have overrides. You already have coding pay. You're already set up for leadership positions. By having 30 people just do this. Now you need a little more than 30 if it's exactly you're counting their 10. I mean, it's perfect and no one does anything except qualify. You may need a little more than 30, but the reality is 30 sparkled out through your team is you're there. And that's how you become area director. An area director is what? 10,000 residual revenue. How do you get to 25? Have 3 legs of this. How do you get to, and then ND have 3 legs of this? You only need 2, actually. How do you get to RVP? Have 3 RVP, 3 NDEs? You only need 2. But why not have 3? So you want to have you, and you want to have a team that you look to. I say have a team of 5. Have 5 who are going for it. 5 who say they want the long term. 5 who say they're going for RVP. And until you have 5, you need more quarterbacks. How many quarterbacks on the Detroit Lions? 4 or 5 on the depth chart. How many start? 1. What happens if they're injured? Next guy up. Next up. What if they're injured? Next up. What if they're injured? Next up. You got 4 pros ready to play, and some of them will never touch the field unless there's injuries. But they're still ready. Who's your 5? How many do you have right now that are going for RVP? How many you have right now that are part of the Trailblazers list going for RVP, who are literally sitting to themselves, okay, I've got my residual 200. I've got my 200 residual revenue. I got my, or do you have people who are just going, I'm just trying to get funding customers to make some now money? That's not going to build you long term. This is a network marketing company that is based on residual revenue. Funding, let it be extra credit. You're going to see the plan. Here's the plan for new people. Then we're going to go into recruiting. Here's what everyone does. And you probably saw this video already. Number 1, you get 5, 10, 15, then 20 pharmacy customers. Why? Because then you're at 200 residual revenue, which is what you need to qualify through all the ranks in our company. And it positions you to earn at least 10% funding bonus match on anyone you recruit. Even if you never get a funding client, you can get paid on bonuses of the people you personally enrolls, fundings. You get 10% of what they make if you have 200 residual revenue. Without it, you don't. So that's the first reason. First thing you got to do. Second thing you got to do is inform warm market. Warm market is people you know about the business funding. What else? Payment processing. What else? Health care. What else? Business funding, payment processing, healthcare. And if they're a large business, you can tell them about the Relevate. Okay, but these are the 3 products you need them to know about. Warm market, you got to inform them all. You don't have to sell a loan. You don't have to sell payment processing. You don't have to sell healthcare. You have to inform and educate. The tools we're working on right now are educational. It's an educational video about the business funding. And there's a couple graphics that I need yet to make them better. And then it'll be perfect. The script's perfect. The idea is perfect. It's going to educate people. All you got to do is educate them on our funding. It's going to show them the price, the qualifications, and when it's a good deal and when it's not. And it's going to be 1.5 to 2 minutes long, and that's it. And you'll educate them. And now they know if I ever need funding and they have a good idea, Lisa's my girl, Morgan's my girl, Tommy's my boy. That's where I'm going because you educate them. So you're going to inform all your warm market about these. I'm missing one. Payment processing, funding, healthcare. We'll just call the RX there. Okay.
ID Protect.
ID Protect. That's it. This. Thank you, Mom. These are warm market for business customers, though. So you don't have to tell them about ID Protect, but you want to inform your warm market non-business. So this is, I should have clarified that. Inform your warm market business owners. So you're going to refer our business services as well. It's part of the DAC way. This is the DAC way. I will get 5, 10, 15, 20 RX customers. I will teach my team to do that. Even if they're a B2B person, meaning a business services to business people, even if they're that, the DAC way is this, so that you can have 200 residual revenue and you're qualified for everything. We don't want you to miss out on bonuses. ERC people coming through and their enrollers not qualified to earn 10% of what they make, and they make $6,000, and they could have made $600, but they didn't have their 200 residual revenue. That's frustrating for me. I can't give it to them, but I can give them the foresight. I can give them the education. I can give them the encouragement. I can give them a way. Here's your way. Go do it. How many conversations do you have to have? Enough. How many is that? Enough to get 20. How many is that? At least 20. Well, how many more than 20 am I going to have? Enough. I don't know how many. Depends on how they look at you and who you're talking to. But then you're going to inform every person in your warm market, every business owner you know, and they are too. This is what you're going to teach them. They do this. This is the DAC way for a new person. You got the vision here. They want now money, you help them get amped up. Number 3, they got to be QA, 5 with 50, team trainer, 100. They got an AD, RD, and Andy. How do you do it? Right here. Number 1 is you get your customers. Number 2, you inform every warm market person you know about our business services. You're educating them because some are going to say yes, and you're going to make now money, big money, and you're going to learn the process. And number 3, you're going to recruit. You go, I don't want to recruit, Dave. No problem. Then you're an affiliate. This is recruiting training. You don't need to watch this. Just go out and get customers. But if you want to build a team, then you're going to build depth. You're going to have a lot of, and I don't mean depth in your team. You're going to have that too. I mean depth of quality in your personally enrolled people. You want 5 quarterbacks. You want 5 people. You go, that person's on trainings, whether I am or not. This person's getting customers, whether I do or not. This person's recruiting, whether I do or not. This person, you got 5 who are doing that, your future's set. It's like you have 5 high rises and you get paid a percentage of rent every time because you've set them up now. Encourage. Be their partner, not their predator. Don't make money on them. Help them make money and be rewarded for it. They're not your prey. They're your partner. So that means find people, the right people, encourage them. So recruit and develop. How do you recruit and develop? Well, number 1, do you know what you're going to do with them? You're going to make sure you know this. This is the plan. If they're going now money, amped up. How do you get amped up? You got to get clients, inform a bunch of people right here. This is how you get amped up. It's how you stay amped too. Get clients. You get 1 client, you're amped up. Now you're making 6%. Get another one, you're double amp. Make another one, you're triple amp. And stay triple amp. Keep going. Right here. This is what you do. You just inform and educate. And then you're canvassing as a customer. So it's warm market first. We just did a video on this before. Warm market first, then canvas as a customer. Everywhere you go, anyone you're spending money with, shopping at their stores, you inform them. Then canvas your local market. Make sure everyone in your local town knows you're the funding superhero. So it's inform the warm market, this stuff, and then it's canvas as a customer. I'm going to write this down here. Canvas as a customer. You know what that means? If you're spending money there, talk to them. So canvas as a customer, canvas a local area. Okay. And then grow your warm market, which is associations, chamber of commerce, things like that. So you're going to grow you're always introducing yourself to new business owners. Right there. Inform business owners, warm market first. David, I don't want to talk to people I know. Okay, you're not doing it the DAC way. You're proving your odds of success are going to go down. This is where you're going to get most of your referrals and your fundings from, long-term and short-term. So own it, be excited about it, inform them, educate them, and be enthusiastic about your funding. Enthusiastic who it's for and who it's not for. Don't stuff funding down someone's throat. If they don't have a good idea, they're just going to have bad debt. But if you got someone who's got a good idea and they believe in it and they think they can take it to the next level, man, get them the funding. Get them the funding. Help them drive their business. Payment processing, man, if they got a business, they're probably breaking even or losing money, many of them. You can save them 3 months of the processing fees in 5 minutes with the standard processing. You can take all 12 months of fees away with dual pricing. Why wouldn't you tell them about it? It's lacking integrity to keep it to yourself. Well, David, I don't want to embarrass them, or I don't want to interrupt them, or they've already been talked to. Quit imagining. Quit imagining. Start imagining you're helping them. Start imagining you reach out to them and go, hey, dude, you know what? I'm all set already, but thank you for caring about my business. Thank you. I'm going to refer you to some people. Instead, we imagine the worst. Imagine the best. Start thinking what if instead of what if. It's an attitude. So do this. Canvas as a customer, canvas your local market, become the superhero team, and you'll have more clients than anybody. And then recruit and develop other people who do this and 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 this. And then this and this, and this, and this, and this. That's all they got to do. Write that down. I mean, you should know everyone's got to get 5 to 20 customers. Everyone's got to canvas to their warm market on our funding, our payment processing, our healthcare. And everyone's got to recruit a team that does the same. And then we also got to canvas as a customer locally. And we got to build our warm market, never stop building our warm market. We're always meeting, greeting, informing, meeting, greeting, informing. That's your job right there. You are a independent agent, independent affiliate. Your job is to get customers, inform business owners, recruit a team who does the same. Obviously, getting business owners includes these. That's it. That's all there is to it. There's nothing more difficult. You don't need to become a super funding expert. You don't need to know it like Wade Cordell. You need to get, revenue gets us approved. The cost is about 1.3 to 1.5 times what they get. That's really cheap if they got a good idea because they're going to make a lot more. It's really expensive if they don't have a good idea. So the real key is to identify if they got a good idea that they're going to help grow this for, because then it's like free, and it's really expensive if they don't. And it's okay for me to share that with somebody. It's okay for me to say to someone, if you don't have an idea to drive your sales, you maybe shouldn't take the money because it might become hefty debt instead of fuel for your growth. It's okay to say that. And it's okay to say someone on payment processing, hey, you're paying fees right now. What are you paying, $2,000? We could probably save you $6,000 right now with standard processing. 3 times whatever their monthly fee is. And we could probably save you 12 times if you're willing to go to dual pricing, which just means you have a cash price and then a credit card price. If they use their credit card, they pay a little bit more. It covers your fees, and your fees are free. And people, I don't want to do that. I don't know if I want to. Okay. You don't have to. We could save you 3 times with standard processing, and we could save you 12 times. And by the way, the founder of our company has a donut shop and an ice cream shop who uses this. And you know what? They haven't had any complaints. But if your fees are, if you'd rather just pay them and not have any customers say, I don't like that there's a price higher for credit card, then don't. You don't need to do it. We'll save you 3 times your monthly fees for standard processing, but we encourage you to go to dual pricing. It's up to you, though. You're a business owner. Nah, I don't want to do that. Okay, would you like a quote to save 3 times? And why not save 3 times? Well, I just don't know. Hey, no problem. I'm educating you. I'm here for you. I'm not going to condemn you. If you're not interested in looking, I understand. If you'd like to have a call with one of our experts, we can set that up and I can get out of the way. I don't know. Okay, I tell you what, I'll follow. Let me send you some information and I'll follow up with you in a few days. Just think about it. Let them off the hook and walk away. What do you mean you're not sure? This isn't sales. This is education, information, and transition to move when they're ready. It's not convincing. Just like the business. Person convinced against the wheel is of the same opinion still. I think you're starting to see why when we travel, we end up staying up till 1 a.m. talking to people because you get into it. This is what you're going to do, all right? This is what you're going to do with new people you recruit. If you don't want to do this, don't recruit. If you don't want to talk to people about doing this, don't recruit. Well, David, we're just business funding. Okay, then don't have people attend the trainings and don't do the DA. You're just going to do business funding, you get to, but you won't be qualified for all the residuals. You won't be qualified for RVP. You'd have to get like $100 million in funding every month to have the residual revenue equal the numbers you need. So you need residual services to benefit from RVP and the long-term residual. We've had months where we've done millions of dollars in fundings, followed by less than that the next month, even though we have more people and more renewals. It's up and down, right? It's like a music note on a digital synthesizer. You just all of a sudden, poof, 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 right? Residuals like this. It just keeps on going. So you want to focus on residuals, even if you're focused on funding. Focus on funding, but build your residuals too. So this is how, right there. And if you're informing people about payment processing and healthcare, you're going to build a lot of residuals that way too. And you're going to build big upfront bonuses and renewal revenues here. You got it all. You're going to recruit and develop others who do the same. You're going to canvas as a customer, canvas locally in here. That's your 3-step process. Personal pharmacy customers, personal business services, inform. Warm market, canvas as a customer, and grow your warm market. And then recruit and develop others who do the same. That's our system. That's it. Keep it that simple. Got to do this, got to do this, got to do this, got to do this, this, this. Well, I'm not doing this. Okay. You're not doing the DAC way. You can never break RVP. It's all right. If you just want to be an affiliate, make full, it's good for you. It's cool. Are they one of your 5 quarterbacks? No. You need 5 who want to build the RVP system. So you can have the residual. When you got 5 RVPs wide, dude, you are set. You're doing $500,000 in residual revenue. You got 100 million minimum in personal commissions going out every single month that you're making 30% minimum on. Probably making more like 40. Probably making $40,000 a month to 50, not counting coding bonuses, not counting funding bonus overrides. You're probably making $500,000 a year because you got $500,000 in residual revenue. Because you got 5 who said they're going to focus on this RVP. Where is it? Right here? You got 5 who said here. So you didn't stop recruiting and developing here. You did all of these. You did all of these. You took advantage of the entire pay plan. You went up to the mountaintop and you looked around and you said, look, over there is a beautiful ocean. We should learn how to surf. Oh, look, and over there, Whitewater Rapids. We should learn how to kayak. Oh, look over there. There's a mountain. We should learn how to climb it and ski. This world's got all kinds of stuff. Why not learn how to take advantage of it all? Meanwhile, there's people over there, they only know about the ocean. And they're not real good at surfing. But man, they'd be awesome as a kayaker. You don't know what you're real good at yet until you start doing all of it. Do it all. That's it. There's nothing else to that. Now, what do you say to recruit people? First of all, I say this, and I know this is a fact. When I first got started, they gave me scripts to use. I would never use them. They gave me an opinion script. I'm like, I'm never going to call my friend and lie. Hi, I'm just calling to get your opinion about something I looked at. If you could give it a look for me and give me your opinion, I'd value your opinion. I really love to know your opinion. I don't need your opinion. I'm trying to recruit you. Don't teach me to lie. Don't tell me to ask someone their opinion when I'm not looking for their opinion. In fact, I don't want to hear their opinion. I only want to know whether they're interested or not. So why don't you teach me to say that? And all the training said, just ask them to use the opinion script. It's BS. How about this? Just speak the truth. Share what you believe. What do I say to someone? Share what you believe. What do you want from that conversation? You want to know if they're interested in joining the business, don't you? That's what you want to know, right? You want to know if they're interested in joining the business. Don't give a BS, I need your opinion script. I'd like to find out I need it for one of 3 reasons. 1, you may love what we're doing and join me. 2, you may not love it. You might be able to teach me something or other. Or 3, you may know someone else who might want to do it. You don't need to soften it. You want to know if they're interested in the business and joining and running with you as a partner. You want to have 5 quarterbacks with you? Then start by asking for it. Start by saying the truth. Listen, I'm reaching out to you because I just started a business and this is how I would say it. You put it in your own words. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm pretty dedicated to it. And I'm looking to build a team of partners, about 5 to 10 people who look at what I'm doing, believe in it like I do, and want to help make a major business happen together. Are you open to starting a business right now outside of what you're doing? No, no problem. No problem. I'm looking for 5 who go like, hey, if this feels right to you like it does to me, we can make some rain together, man. I'm serious. So if it's not the right time, no problem. If you come across anyone else who's real entrepreneurial and they're like hungry for something, open to something, tell them to call me. Move on. You're not looking to babysit people. You're not looking to talk someone into wanting to be a business owner right now. You're not looking to move people into trying to get them to get customers who don't want to even be in business. So just share the truth. What are you looking for? You're trying to break RVP. You're looking for 5 people who want to build this business minimum. I say 5 to 10. Don't ever stop asking, actually. Always be looking for more people. Always be drafting more people in the NFL draft. Always be drafting more people into your NFL. Always be drafting more people to give them scholarships to your college. Always be asking more people to join You Inc. You Inc. Always be doing that and keep looking and keep saying it with the same integrity. Keep saying it with the same definition of purpose. Chief aim. I'm going to make 6 figures residual and I'm looking to help take 5 people there. Well, that might turn people off, Dave. Of course it'll turn people off. It'll also turn some on. Is it the truth on what you believe? Then share what you believe. You want to share what you believe. That way you only attract people who believe the same things. You don't have to attract people with some BS. Oh, we don't really have to talk to people here. We just post images and get customers. Baloney. You're going to have 100 people posting images and 1 out of 1,000 will get a customer. An image helps soften. A billboard on the freeway helps. But how many times you go, oh, wait a minute, back up, stop, look at that, let's read that. How many times people are scrolling through Facebook? Oh, look, Dave put up a billboard. Let's stop and scroll back down and read that. Usually it's like billboard buy, billboard buy, thumb billboard buy, billboard buy. Oh, there's another ad. Buy. Even Zoom thinks I'm right. Right? So just don't be that and don't teach that. What do? We engage with our voices and with video and with text and with images and with billboards and with words and with relationships. And we engage and we inform about our funding, about our payment processing, about our healthcare, about our RX, about our fundraiser, about everything we have, of course, about our RX memberships, and then, of course, about our business. And we find people and attract people who want to be doing what we're doing, and we don't care about those who don't. It's not that we don't care. We don't take it personally for those who don't. Jesus said, when you're planting the seeds of the gospel, which is the good news of Jesus Christ, for goodness sakes, if you're sharing that seed and you're casting seeds, sowing seeds, it's going to fall on 4 types of soil. Only one is the right type of soil. And he's talking about the message of eternity in Jesus Christ while he's living. While he's performing miracles, you're still going to have 4 types. Some are going to go, ooh, that's awesome, but it's shallow soil. And as soon as the little hat comes, as soon as someone goes, that funding doesn't work, they're going to quit, dry up. Shallow soil. Some's going to fall on the pathway and the birds are going to come eat it up. It's never even going to take root. They're going to see the business opportunity meeting. They're going to see the funding go, oh, that might be good, and forget all about it. Tomorrow it's gone. They don't even think about it ever again. Pathway. Shallow soil. Some are going to fall amongst the thorns. They're going to get in. They're going to go, yeah, I'm doing this, man. That repeat thing, the ruts. Were you on that call the other day? All that. Holy cow, did he get into belief and all that? I mean, it was long and all, but man, I didn't feel it was long at all. I was just into it. He was helping me remember times when I committed to things, when I went for it, when I went all out, and I always succeeded. And when I didn't, I didn't. Wow, it's really interesting. When you go for it, you make it. When you don't, you don't. I'm going to go for this. And I was so pumped up. But they're in the thorny bushes. And their wife goes, are you falling for one of those network marketing things? Really? Again? And their buddy from high school, dude, what do you mean, man? Let's go get a beer. What are you talking about? You got to go to a meeting? You're going to sit on a Zoom with Ruts again? Come on, man. You know he's just trying to make money on you. Thorny weeds. Just ignorance. But they're trying to protect you, some of them. Some of them are jealous. They don't want you to go ahead and win without telling them. So they're going to talk you out of it. And you know what? If your soil is not rich enough and deep enough to deal with the thorns, they're going to win. So the birds are going to get it. The shallow soil, the sun's going to burn you up because it's not rooted in deep enough, or the thorns are going to come through and strangle you. It's only the 4th type of soil that says, you know what? I don't need nourishment from my friends. I don't need nourishment from the customers I approach. I don't need nourishment from my spouse on whether I should do this or not. I want my spouse's support. I'm just going to ask her or him to be hands off, just encourage me and let me go for it for 3 years. Give me 3 years of my life. Just like if I were going to college right now. There's no guarantee when you go to college, you're going to get out in a good job, yet it's supported. You'll have $100,000 in debt, probably won't have a job that pays that much when you get out. And yet my kids are going to do it. Your kids are going to do it. They're going to do it. And meanwhile, someone starts a network marketing company, which I've never made less than 10 grand a month from my 4th month on, and people don't encourage them. Stupid. Just stupid. Stupid. Just stupid. I never made that much in my college. Never. Stupid. And yet they get encouraged to go get that degree. And they go get encouraged. Hey, I'm encouraging my kids to get a degree too, and I think they should. Because I learned how to learn. I learned how to fight it. I learned how to overcome. I learned how to flip a switch and get my grades set. I learned how to overcome my insecurities and my weaknesses. I learned how to overcome. So when it comes to business, a customer goes, that's expensive funding. I don't go, ooh. I go, to you, if you don't have a good idea, in my mind, to you, if you don't have a good idea, it is very expensive. And I'm glad you see it that way. But hey, you know what? You're right. Now, you're right. If you got good ideas that can help drive your profits, it's not expensive because it pays for itself. So I would encourage you to consider some ideas. Think about some ideas you might have that maybe 50 grand could help turn into 500. Then it's not expensive at all, right? Because you'll have to pay 75 back, not 500. We don't own your company. We don't take it all from you. We don't owe us a percent of all 500,000. You just got to pay us 75 grand back on that 50. So if you come up with something, let me know. If not, you're right. It's super expensive. But you're not going to make me think that it's expensive because you said so. You don't understand the product. You don't have a reason for it. You're not right. You don't need to say dual pricing doesn't work because you think it's wrong to charge 4% more on a credit card. Okay, you get to. Why are you using the pay at the pump? Why do you go to the gas station and slip your card in the pump? Why would you do that as a customer? Why in the world would you do that? Oh, when you're in Canada and you come home with Canadian funds and you go to pay at the US restaurant and you got $100 Canadian bill and they go, okay, that's worth 75. So you owe me 130 Canadian. You don't go, hey, this is $100. You pay because it's a lower currency. Credit card is lower currency. You give someone a credit card, you're only getting 97 bucks, not 100. Even though they spent 100, business owners only get 97. That's a lower currency. You should be willing to pay extra. Why? Well, it's a service the business owner should provide me. They're providing it. They just charge you more. You can pay cash. But why should they? You want to just raise your price? You want to just grow the prices because everyone's paying with credit cards now? They can do that. A Big Mac maybe 17 bucks. But hey, we can do things like that. That's all they have. Yeah, minimum wage, $20 an hour. Okay, cool. Now everyone who can't afford Big Macs already now really can't because we got to pay all the kids 20 bucks an hour now. And now the families trying to feed their kids can't afford the Filet-O-Fish because it costs more than a freaking steak at the restaurant. So this is the fighter in you. This is the fighter in you that says, I am protecting our team. I'll leave the 99 to help the one. I'll keep this business free for the one who may lose $1,000 by joining a business. We'll keep it free to protect the one. We'll make the app free to protect the one. We'll leave the 99 to get the one and bring them back in. Shepherds can fight wolves, and they can also just use their staff to guide and direct. We're shepherds. You're a shepherd. You got to keep the lions off. You got to keep the lions out of the den. You got to keep the wolves away. You got to feed. You got to nourish. You got to encourage. And you got to have a rod and a staff. And the rod is every once in a while when you're trying to guide that sheep and they're not listening, you're going to have to smack it a little bit to get that sheep to get back in line. That's all Jesus said. I'm not saying smack anyone, but I am saying don't allow yourself and your crew, your village, your team to be overcome by wolves, be overcome by negative friends, be overcome by negative industry, and we get labeled on something. Baloney. Baloney. So what do you say? You say what you believe. You have a list. Your goal is to get, number one, you have someone to call. Your goal is to identify if they're going to be one of your quarterbacks. That's your goal. You're a talent scout. Your goal is to identify if they're going to be one of your 5, one of your 10. That's your goal. So how do you identify that? You find out if they're interested in being a business. You tell them a little bit of enthusiasm. You share what you believe. I'm in a company, man. We're making some great things happening. We're doing things differently. We're looking for some serious people that want to make serious income, residually and upfront bonuses in their own home-based business. Are you interested in looking? Dude, that sounds a lot like, hey, no problem. If you're not interested, share what you believe, and you'll repel those who don't believe it. You want someone here who goes, I think network marketing is a scam. I really believe that network marketing thing. Meanwhile, they're working on a PhD and they've got $190,000 a year in college, and they're going to get out and have to become a principal making $90,000 a year, and they can make $90,000 a month. We don't judge them wanting to get a PhD and become a principal. We honor them and thank them for doing it. But how dare you rip my industry, my profession, where I've made tens of millions of dollars? How dare you when you can't do that as a PhD principal? So don't judge my industry. Don't judge NBA just because you didn't get into the league, just because you didn't do the layups, you didn't shoot the free throws. How dare you judge how much money you can make in the NBA just because you didn't want to run the laps and do the layups and play the practices and go to weekend camps and everything else. Don't judge that how much they're making. So share what you believe. You'll attract those who believe what you believe, and you won't have to talk to that person into getting their customers because you already sorted on the way through. So you have a list. You approach and peak interest. That's number 2. So number 1, they're on your list. Number 2, approach and peak interest. What are we looking to do here? We're looking at Talent Scout. Here you go. 1, list. I'm just going to write it up here. 2, approach and peak interest. Peak interest, P-U-Q-I-E. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to do this in red so you can see it. 1, 2. Number 3, presentation. So approach and peak interest. You ask them if they're interested in doing something. You ask them if they're interested in becoming one of your partners with you. You ask them if they're looking to make money outside of what they're doing. Some of them will start slow but pick up speed later. It's okay. You don't have to start them on the advanced mogul run. You can get them on the bunny hill and let them learn how to ski on a nice little thing. And eventually they're doing helicopters off the moguls. But you start them slow. It's okay. You don't have to go, dude, I'm looking for people ready to go full time. You're going to be freaky to them, right? So some will go, sweet, but if they've got experience. But if they don't know, it's okay to say, I'm looking for some dedicated, committed people who will look at what we're doing. And if they identify with it and believe with it, will be active with us to help spread the good news of our business, to help get customers and grow the business. That's what we're looking for, an army of people who believe and are willing to share, believe and are willing to promote. You interested in looking at something? Not right now. I'm pretty set in what I'm doing. No problem. I appreciate it. You sorted. Yes, no, or maybe. That's what you're looking for. Red apples, green apples, and rotten apples. Rotten doesn't mean negative. Rotten just means it's not for them. And they let you know it pretty clearly. Even if it's positively, hey, dude, I'm so pumped up. If you approach me right now and say, David, we'd love to start a massage studio with you, and we want you to help go become a massage therapist, and so you can do massages because we think it's the future of medicine for people. Great. That's awesome. I would encourage you. Well, in fact, let me know when you're open. I'll come give it a try and refer some friends. But I'm not interested in doing massages. I'm not interested in becoming a massage therapist. That's good for you. Go for it. So you share, and if they're interested, they'll say, yeah, I'm interested, or they'll say they're not. You don't expect everyone to be interested. You find out who is. And then when they are, after the presentation, you go to number 4. They join. And that's when you do this stuff. That's when you make sure they did their welcome letter. You do the start steps here. You make sure they've done the back office. You make sure they've done their links, their app. If you don't do that, you've not done your job as their leader. You shouldn't expect them to be a quarterback. You shouldn't expect them to be one of your 5. Expect to be one of them who dies. If they leave, they quit. Expect that. Don't expect them to run. But if you do this, now you expect they have a chance. They got a partner in you. You're a partner in them. They can feel it. So when they join, you go through this. You set up the vision. You make sure they go through the trainings on how to do this informing. You get into the business funding trainings. Make sure you get all these trainings done. So they join. And at 5, they go through training. So the joining process is this. The training process is learning how to do this. And then you have the goal. Because you determine it here. When you join, you do the starting stuff. You determine, are they going for this? Are they going for this? And here you go. Here's your steps, baby. Our starting strategy, I added a page to it today to do this. We used to start you right there. Go team trainer as soon as possible. But, Ellen Wynn looked at it. She goes, David, can we add a step that just says get qualified first with 50 rather than just going to team trainer? Let's just get qualified first. You get 3 levels pay, and you now can get paid on your team. A lot of people aren't qualified. Can we do step 1, just get qualified? Yeah, that's a good point. So I added that to the starting strategy. So step 1, get qualified. Step 2, go team trainer. Step 3, break your team trainers, get you an area director. Step 4, break your team area directors, get you regional director. Step 5, break your team regional director, get you national director. So your quarterbacks here, you're moving them along. This one's an RD that's helping you. This one's an AD. This one's still a team trainer. This one's only qualified. This one didn't even qualify. Not applicable. What does that mean? You need more. You need more. That's why you keep talent scouting. That's it. That's it. Let's see if it hits. Hit the floor. That's what we do. Now, I have a tendency, because I've seen so many people, if you have 100 people say yes to the business, the 7 or 8 who really make it are the ones who can sit around and talk about how much they believe about it. So that's why I'm guilty of that. And that's why a lot of people are guilty of it. So if you think I'm undisciplined by going on and ranting, I would like you to know that I'm being disciplined by doing this, because I recognize without it, you will not stay the course. Without a belief in what we're doing, you won't stay the course. Without believing that you can actually achieve this, you won't stay the course. And if I don't share my belief that I have achieved it, that I've actually done it, and I'm saying, come on along with me, let's go do this. If you got, I've already put my phone number out there. I've already said, well, let's talk about the app. And then we're going to go into, from the app, we're going to go into the people that want to be part of the RVP. Hopefully you got this. You got to be part of the RVP Go-Getters. You got to join that RVP Go-Getter list. You got to join that list. Let's talk app. And this is only going to be a couple minutes because it's pretty simple. We got this app. It's got a nice little thing here. It's got a bunch of media here. So this is just a banner image. Okay. It's free. I'll tell you how to get in a minute. It's absolutely free. If you don't like opening up on an app, you can open up on your website. There's your browser. It's got everything else. It's just laid out a little different. Okay. Either way you want to do it, you can get it. It's free either way. This is the app. I like the app personally, because it's got alerts, got other things like that, and you can build it right from your phone. Right here is media that you can share. So as you're going out and building your business, you can refer a video, you can refer an image, you can refer a text to someone. And what you do is, let's say you pick a funding image, funding video that you're going to send to someone. You select it and you hit share. From there, it allows you to text, put it on Facebook, send an email, whatever you want to do. Let's say you're going to text it. It then sends them a text to a landing page. This is not your replicated website. Here's your replicated website. Okay, this is your replicated website with the funding, and here's the video of my mug, right? Here's the apply now, right? So this is your website. This is replicated site. If people go there, you don't know it. We have no way of letting you know people have gone there, do we? No, we don't. But this app has a landing page here. It's got the video on it, just the video that's also on this page. But you want them to go there, you send them this link. They go to this page, and there's a button here, apply now or request more information, but they can watch the video. As soon as they click on your link to go here, you're told, hey, Dave, or hey, Lisa, Bill just clicked on your link that you sent them. So you're notified in the app, ding. You get an email, Bill just looked at it, cool. But when you click this to share, it's already pre-written for you. You can edit it, but we've already got pre-written text, pre-written emails, pre-written social posts, so that you've got proven words that work being here. But if you want to add something like, hey, remember at the barbecue, I told you I'd send you this video. Here's that video I'm talking about. You can edit it, but it's already pre-written for you. So as soon as you select, you can select text, or first of all, you can select send to a current contact, send to someone in your phone, or create a new contact. And you can add who it is that you're sending it to. But let's say once you send it, you pick a person in your phone. Let's say you're picking a person in your phone, your neighbor, and you're going to text him. He owns a restaurant. You're going to text him. And when you're texting, it says send a follow-up. 1 day, 3 day, 5 day. So you can send up a follow-up too. So you select your neighbor. You select follow-up in 1 day. You select text. And then your text opens up right to him. And it's already pre-written. And all you gotta do is hit send. On the Facebook pages, you gotta paste because it copies it to your clipboard and you paste it. But you send. And now you say follow up in 1 day. Tomorrow, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna get a notification tomorrow. Ding, follow up with Tom. And you're gonna click on Tom or Tim, I think we said his name was. If you click on Tim, it's gonna have his history. Tim looked at the link yesterday at 3 o'clock. Tim watched 80% of the video at 8:20. And you got the history of what Tim's done right there. And you can share more with Tim, share more media with Tim. You pick another video to share with Tim. What are the rates or something else you want to share? And you can share that with Tim. Or you can just call Tim because Tim didn't apply. Tim watched the video, but that's it. But one of the options is request more information where they can request a follow-up and they can fill that out, or it's apply now, or it's just watch the video. But you now know they watched it. And you can reach out, hey, Tim, I saw you got my thing. Did you watch that video? What do you think of the video? Are you familiar with what our funding is, just in case you ever could use it? Text, yeah. Now you put a reminder, follow up right in your app. Put a reminder, follow up in 2 weeks. Follow up in 5 days. Just reach out and say, hey, Tim, your business, I know you do restaurants. Do you guys do catering? Because I love referring businesses. I just want to know what your specialty is and what I could tell people about in case I ever meet someone who could use your services. Follow up and be a good neighbor, right? So the app has shareability. That's the number one thing. It can share marketing tools. That's primarily what it is right now, is a marketing app. There are some training videos in there and there's some things like that. There is a link to your store to buy swag, hats, shirts. There is a link to your back office. There is some challenges we're starting to run. There are badges that show what your qualifications are: engaged, amped up, single, 1,000 residual revenue, 2,000 residual revenue, 200 residual revenue. So there's some badges in there that shows you where you're at, but it's primarily a marketing app, right? We're building a learning management system into it right now. I was just working on some courses today. It was supposed to be live. That's part of why we delayed, but it's now coming along. The developers are, it's in beta mode for them. But this is beta mode for us because we haven't had enough users on it to find what might be wrong. Like these landing pages that you send to, maybe there's a spelling error on one of these pages or something, and we just haven't caught it, right? So we're doing it in beta mode right now. So if you don't want to do it in beta mode, don't download the app yet. Don't do it yet. Don't download it yet. But if you're willing to, then download it. And you can do it from your desktop or your app or both. How do you log in? We'll give you the link in a minute. You log in with your DAC ID number and DAC password. Now, we had someone reach out to us today and said they're not willing to log in, but they're not willing to put their password in to a third party. It's the same password that you're putting into a third party called DAC. We're a third party to you. So the security is there. Your customers, they were concerned about their customer information being shared. The customer information is not in here. When you go to share a friend with a friend, it opens and links to your friend contacts. Now, if you add a friend into it as a contact in the app, they're in there, but they're in your phone. So I would just encourage you, you don't need to be worried about your friend's phone number getting stolen from this app. Now, if you lose your phone, you probably have hundreds of people where they're going to get your phone number. You don't have to worry about them getting credit cards. There's no credit cards stored in this. We're not selling anything. We're referring videos. We're referring social posts. We're referring images, billboards, right? So I would encourage you, just for if anyone's concerned about your DAC ID and password, it's already in our secure setting. Their setting is very secure. So that's how you log in. Okay. So get in it, start sharing. We're going to have some contests and stuff. The good news is it's got videos, it's got social posts, it's got some images you can share, and it's a good way of tracking your referrals. That's the primary use of it. Okay. It's absolutely free. If you find any errors in it, email support. I sent an alert out last night that we found some of the videos are coming up as black screens in your app. When you share them, they work, but they're coming up as black in your app. So know that that's a known issue. That's the only known issue we have right now. And it's been resolved on most browsers already. Our logo is not centered and the logo got stretched weird. That's going to be that way until the new version's downloaded. They're working on you know how you got to update your app. They're working on an update on some other things that'll all come at the same time. So we know the logo looks a little wonky. The spacing's a little odd. On your alerts, it's lined up to the left instead of center. We know that. But other than that, this baby's humming. It's humming. And it alerts you well and follow up so you can use it like as your own little CRM. And you also can use it to share the tools. And then you can have real-time feedback of when people are plugging in. So use it, share it. Get used to how to use it. Get used to the follow-up. Get used to the history. Get used to how to copy paste into your Facebook. You know, sometimes with the text, you don't have to do anything but hit send and it's there. The other one, it'll say copy to clipboard. So make sure you go slow the first time you go through it, because we've had some people go, it's not posting to Facebook. No, it is. It's copied in your clipboard. You have to hit paste. So just read the directions as you're going through. It'll tell you. And before long, it'll be real easy for you to use. To get the app, I don't know if we have anyone on our team still here. Let me see. Tyler, okay, link to download app. He already put it up. Thank you. RVP links. Okay, Sharon shared both of them. Thanks. The first link Sharon shared and Tyler shared too. They both shared. Sharon shared a link. There's two there, RVP links. The first one is to join the RVP personal team. I'm getting in the field. Over half my time, I want to be on the road, whether it's virtually or literally driving somewhere. I want to help you hit RVP. That's my primary goal now. Our business is mature enough that it's time to drive the heck out of the sales. My responsibility is for you getting your goals, not making sure we've got another service that you can sell. We'll do that, but that's not my primary thing. My primary thing is you being an RVP. Now, you getting the funding, that's important too. I'll help you do that. You bet. You live this plan out. You recruit 1,000 people who do this, and you'll have 3,000 pharmacy customers like that. They'll average 3 each. 1,000 people, you'll have 30,000. No, you'll have 3,000 people learn about the funding. And you'll probably get, of those 3,000, you'll probably get 30 new fundings. You'll have 2,000 learn about the payment processing, probably get 200. You'll have maybe 1,000 learn about the healthcare and probably get 50. This is what drives your business production. New recruits doing warm market. This stuff here, canvassing as a customer, canvassing your local area, that's for the people who love doing it and want to keep getting customers. This here, this part right here, 1,000 new reps who do this. You'll make so much in funding commissions, you don't even know what to do with yourself. You'll make so much in payment processing overrides, you don't know what to do with yourself. If you tell them they got to go get 100 funding customers, breaks. If you tell them, just tell your warm market, go get 20 of these, get your warm market, do this, keep expanding your warm market, keep canvassing as a customer, keep getting customers. But once you've done all this and you're doing this, your business is going to be booming. You want to keep getting amped up, keep getting amped up. You should. As long as you keep doing these things, you will keep getting the customer I got today. I didn't go looking for the customer. It's a customer I've talked to a long time ago who's now ready to get funding. You'll always get customers. You'll never have to stop. But my motive now is here. I'm not at 20 yet, so I got to get to 20 here. I'm doing this all the time. Now I'm focused right there, baby. Who's my 5 players? Who's my 5 quarterbacks? They don't have to be frontline. I want 5 legs wide. I want 20 legs wide with an RVP in it. Company needs 20 legs wide with an RVP. And then each one of them trying to have 5 legs wide with an RVP. Let's get this baby humming out $1 billion in residual revenue. Because then we're paying $200 million out in commissions every single month. Let's get $1 billion in residual revenue a month. Why not? It's only a $12 billion company. There's other companies doing it. Let's do it. And we'll be paying out $200 million a month. And that means the upline will be earning another $200 million a month. $400 million will be paying out in commissions. David, that's a lot. I know of course it's a lot. I said we're building a legacy business for long after I'm gone. It doesn't have to happen tomorrow. But it should happen. If our business is that good, it should happen. If other companies can do $1 billion, we can do $1 billion. If other companies can do $500 million, we can do a half. If other companies do $5 billion, we can do $5 billion. And if other reps can make $100,000 a month, you can make $100,000 a month. So this is it. This is what we do. Now the key is approach your 5. Go get your app. The link's right there in the app for everybody. The first link is to subscribe to the RVP Go-Getters. If you already did, do it again. Make sure your goal date's in there and make sure your mobile number's in there because I'm reaching out to people. The second one is getmydacagency.com, and you can log in with your ID and password. If you're going, it's not working, go log into your DAC site. If it's working there, it'll work on the app. If you don't know it, reset your password. And after you reset your password, then go log into the app. You can download it from the iOS store, download it from Android, and you can also go in with your desktop. Go in there and share it, play around with it. If you see any issues, email support in the subject line, put app issue. And then just explain what it is. Take screenshots if you can, because what we end up doing is say, hey, can you send me a screenshot of that? Hey, can you send me a, right? And we end up having to do all that kind of stuff. So please include that. All right. I'm ready to bring this home. You've got the app to play with. It'll help you share and prospect. It'll help you after step 2 is you put them on your list. You approach and pique their interest. If they're interested, you send them in a presentation. You can send it right from your app. The 4-minute video is right there. The BizOp overview is right there. You can send it right from your app. You'll know that they've clicked on it. You know that they've watched it. After they watch it, they'll say join now or request follow-up. It's a 4-minute video. They can actually go watch the longer video if they want. The 20-minute video. So you got it right there and you can see when they've done it. Same with funding, same with payment processing, same with healthcare, same with all of them. All right. So the RVP Go-Getters, I'm sending an email out. I'll be doing it tomorrow probably, and I'll probably resend it to non-openers the following day with my mobile number. And I want you to reach out to me. I don't care if you're on my 40th level or 30th, but don't reach out if you're not willing to do this. All of it. Well, Dave, I just want to do this. No problem. Do it. Just don't reach out to me as coaching at RVP. If you're willing to do all of this, I will help you go RVP. And I'm going to ask that you also commit to helping 5 people go RVP. It may take you 5 years, but if you help 5 people break RVP, you can't make less than $500,000 a year. So is it worth it? You don't need 5,000 people. You need 5 leaders who all break RVP. 5 wide who all break RVP. So if anything I've talked about today, you say there might be something to this. There might be something to this where the product really is amazing and it's going to get better. We're always going to have great value products. We're always going to be free. We always have residual and bonuses. We always have the anti to all the other companies require. We don't require a lot of it. We require performance, but we don't require payments. We don't require purchases. We don't require sign-up fees. We don't require renewal fees. We don't require all the barriers to entry. We don't require the barriers to retention. We don't require any of that. In fact, what we do is we make it easier. We don't have our customers even having to pay auto ships. They're getting services that they're saving money on, or they leave. It's not a luxury service. It's a saving service. My RX, I don't take it. I don't stay on it unless I have medication that I'm paying less on. I'm not doing it for leisure. My payment processing, I don't stay on it. If I don't own a business that's taking credit cards, I stay on it because I want to pay less. I don't get the health care because I don't want coverage. I get it because I want coverage and I want the lowest price and the best coverage. So that's good. And in the funding, I don't take it if I don't have an idea to grow it. I don't take renewals unless I liked it the first time. I don't say yes when it's all disclosed for me and I don't have a good idea. I say no, it's too expensive. I say yes if I love it. I say no if I don't. So all these things, all under the umbrella, say the customers are put in a better position, or they say no, but most are put in a better position. The agents are put in a better position, or they say no, but most are put in a better position. The trainers get trained because they earn off people's income. So their motive is pure to help others win. And they're experienced if they're on our screens. So they've actually done what they're teaching. The company believes in encouraging and supporting and taking responsibility for the success of the people that are trying. So they're always trying to improve their business. And I think that, heck, this company just may survive the way Amway has through generations of death of founders and death of founders' next generation. I think there really could be something to this that I could build my longevity here. And Dave Rutz is not hyping me to get me to spend money. He's actually sharing what he believes. And he may be a little out there. He may be a little bit, it may be a little harder than he thinks. But he's really trying for it. And there's a lot of other people really trying for it. And you know what? I think I could help. I think I can do something with this company. I think I can help this company. I think I can be something with this company. I think I can leave a legacy for my family with this company. I think I can be on plaques all over. I think I can be on DAC's Hall of Fame, on their Wall of Fame. I think I can get a residual income coming in that I literally need legal services for when I die, because I got to make sure I got a trust on how to share it all, because there's so much value there. Who's going to do this? How is this going to run? What's going to happen with that? Man, I'm glad I got to worry about that. Before, I didn't have to worry about anything. I was more worried about how they're going to pay for my funeral. Now I'm worried about how they're going to have an amicable separation of all this wealth. And I understand that it may be only a few people who actually believe everything I'm saying right now, but hopefully every one of you feels the zeal for a moment. I was telling Marlo the other day that when we were at the Lauren Daigle concert, my daughters, myself, her, everyone in the stadium felt the zeal of the Lord for a moment and believed for a moment they could do great things, create greatness. We were all one body. We were all singing together and celebrating together and feeling the Spirit of God together. And that mustered up that group esprit de corps that came up. Everyone felt that zeal for a moment, had ideas and brilliant ideas. But then you move away from that light and those ideas seem unrealistic. I hope you felt the zeal for a moment, because that's the Holy Spirit talking to you. That's God giving you a God sprinkle saying it could be real. Now, anything that's short of that is not your realistic maturity. It's your cynical nature stopping you from going for it. When you're obedient to that zeal, to that feeling, when you're obedient to it, you'll be one of the people who experiences it. It's so hard because our nature says, who am I? Come on, they're getting, they're getting all excited. Yeah, I'm going to get a ruts on that whiteboard, all the markers everywhere, and $500,000 a month. Come on, dude, be realistic. I'm not even making $50 a month, and you're talking $500,000. Be realistic. That's the cynical, sinful nature in us stopping us instead of the zeal of possibilities and opportunities. Don't listen to it. That's what average failure people do. They listen to that negative voice and they think they're being mature and realistic. No, what they're doing is being impoverished with a mental attitude that stops them from winning. Michael Jordan missed a lot more winning shots than he made, but he thought he was going to make the next one every time. He believed, and that's why he made more than anyone else. You got to believe. And I know this is it's okay if you want to go. I'm not going yet. It's okay if you want to. I don't know who's here and who's not here. But it's okay if you feel a lot of cliches are being stated and all that. Yeah, because they're right. They're real. They're accurate. That's why they're cliches. There's always a silver lining in every cloud. There is, unless you're negative Nancy, then there's never a silver lining. If you're Optimus Oliver, there always is. Which one's right? Both of them. Which one lives a better life? Oliver. Nancy's always negative, has horrible stress, disease, anxiety, all kinds of issues. And Oliver's jolly and having a good old time. Silver lining and everything. There's always something good going on around me. There's always a benefit around me. There's always a way I can help people around me. Those people are out to get me. The world's negative. The world's out to take people. Everyone's mean. Everyone just wants to take care of themselves. Maybe everyone's loving and giving to certain people and not to everybody. Maybe they just need an opportunity to be loving and giving to you. Maybe they need to feel your love first, and then they'll be amazingly loving. And that negative trying to take everything. So maybe $500,000 a month is yours here. If you want to start at 5,000, you want to learn how to ski the bunny hill, make $50 a month. And then make 100, and then 200, 400, 700. Once you have the money-making machine, print something, then you know it works. Print something. Just make a $2 check on a pharmacy customer. Once you get one, you know the difference between 1 and 100 million? Time. So 5-step process, you have them on your list. You approach and peak interest. You put them in front of a presentation. You then sort for those who want to get started and those who want to join, you get them joined. When they join, you go through those steps we talked about, the welcome letter, the agent resource center, the links, the app. You make sure they got all that. You find out are they here for long-term or short-term. You want to make sure they're here for long-term. Those are the quarterbacks you're looking for. You're looking for team leaders who want to be RVPs, build teams, support, encourage, lead teams. That's what you're looking for. If you want to build the long-term residual, you need some partners with you who are going to help lift up states, lift up cities, lift up businesses. Can't all be dependents. Some of them got to be leaders, right? So you're going to find out short-term now money or long-term residual or both. You're going to encourage long-term residual. Of course, they're going to make now money. Of course, they're going to refer people and turn into some fundings. Of course, they're going to do all this too. And then you're going to put them in the starting strategy, which is, I took it off here, but again, it's get qualified with your 5 customers, then become team trainer. How? 100 residual revenue, that's 10 customers, and then 250 in your team. So 5 people who are qualified. 5 frontlines who are qualified and 10 customers, your team trainer. Now help your 5 break team trainer and go get to 15 customers. Help them break team trainers in the starting strategy. You'll see it soon. But hopefully you're writing this down. What's next? Get to 20 customers and help your 5 who just became qualified associates, help them break team trainers. What does that make you? Area trainer with 1,000 residual revenue. I want to make sure that's the right rank. I don't have my glasses, but I think it's area trainer. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, area trainer is 1,000. Then help your 5 break area trainer. Boom, makes you regional trainer. Help your 5 break regional trainer. You're beyond area director. So it's just your 5 quarterbacks hitting the next rank. Level up, level up, level up, level up. And if one of them is trailing behind, that's okay. You got other quarterbacks, but you encourage them, encourage them. It's okay if it takes them a little longer to get there. They don't quit. They may lag, but that's okay. I had to go a whole year in college before I decided to go to college. I already spent a year, money, credits, books, all that before I decided to really go to college, not just go to the building. You let people come to the Zooms, come to the events. They're coming to the building, but they're not in college yet. They're not in DAC yet. They're just in the building. Some of you are in the building and you need to go home and say, I'm not just going to the building anymore. I'm going to get all A's in DAC. I'm going, man. I'm running this track record here. I'm going, I'm blowing, I'm going, I'm serving. All it is sharing and sharing and sharing and allowing people who it's for to say yes and allowing those who it's not for to say no and keep sharing and yeses and nos and sharing and yeses and nos and no, I don't need funding and yes, I do. And no, I don't want payment processing. And yes, I do. And no, I don't want healthcare. And yes, I do. And no, I don't to be in the business, but yes, I do. And all it is just let the outcome be the outcome. It's not a reflection of you whether they're a no or a yes. It's a reflection of you if they don't know about us. That's a reflection of you. If you know them and they don't know about us, that's a reflection of you. And you need to step that up and make sure you check that box off that they're on your list and you approached them. And let the outcome be the outcome. You're not responsible for the outcome. You're responsible that they know about us. And then when you move through the system, you level up one at a time and you take your 5 with you, or your 10 or your 15. And you'll have relationships and sub-relationships with all kinds of people. All right. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. I know this was a philosophy more than anything. because philosophy matters more than anything. Principles matter. Philosophy and belief matters more. The principles of how to do it, most people know them and don't do them because they don't believe and they don't have a strong purpose or reason why. You can make amazing, great things happen here. And you can be on stage, you can be in the Zoom, we can be telling your RVP story soon. You can be encouraging and training and influencing people all over. You can be taking half your check and giving it to your church, half your check, giving it to your school, half your check and giving it to the homeless, half your check and giving it to orphans, half your check and traveling around the world, half your check and buying a Lamborghini. It doesn't matter what you do with it. You can do what you want. And you can make that a 2025 goal. I got a lot of texts. Why don't we go to your questions? I know, Morgan, I've kept you late. I've kept you all late. Tyler said it's going to be a long one today, isn't it? You're going to the whiteboard. Clip some of this out. I got a lot of direct questions, so I'm going to start reading them. And if anyone has any questions, go ahead and raise your hand or comments. And whoever's still here from support, thank you guys, man. Cornelius, thank you. Anyone have questions or comments that
We do have one hand up.
Morgan, you're still awake. All right.
It is Leonard Pesco. You can go ahead and unmute yourself, Leonard.
Good evening, everybody. David, you do have stamina.
Well, Leonard.
Hey,
I
listen,
believe, man. I believe. Thank you. It's harder to sit there and listen than it is to stand here and say it.
trust me, I understand that. I have
Cool.
one thing that I'm not clear about.
Yes.
My warm market is 100% salespeople. And
Okay.
I've already started approaching them. Now, in order to get qualified, I need is it $200 in residual revenue? Does their residual revenue count towards mine?
No. No. So I mean, it counts toward your group revenue. It doesn't count toward your personal customers.
So I need 200 residual revenue. So the loans don't count to residual revenue, nor
They do. They do, but they only count once. You get 1% of the funding amount as residual revenue. So if you got a $20,000 funding, you have 200 residual revenue this month, but next month you'll have zero.
Right. But if I have it this month and I've got, say, 10 people that I've recruited, and they likewise does their residual revenue roll up to me so it perpetuates?
Well, it'd be your level one residual revenue. It'd be part of your group, but it wouldn't be your person of IM. So that's a great question. I appreciate you asking. And the comp plan video goes through this a little more, but let's just do it like this real quick. Just so you can understand the definitions. Here's your personal customers. These are your customers. That's your personal residual revenue. The people you enroll who are agents, we'll put boxes around them. These are your agents. Any customers they get, these are their customers, are their residual revenue. It's part of your group residual revenue, but it doesn't count toward your 200. So you need 10 people who are pharmacy customers or one payment processing customer that's doing 200, or 5 healthcare, they're $40 each, 5 healthcare. But yeah, you need personal customers that are not affiliated with the business personally to get to your 200.
Okay. That wasn't clear. That's all I needed to know.
Yep, you got it. And you'll get some people who don't want to do the business, so they're your customers. But I know what you mean. And, it's a pretty good problem to have when most people we approach say, hey, why wouldn't I just sell this? Why wouldn't I sign up and market it? Okay, you can be one of my quarterbacks then.
Well, that's exactly what I'm experiencing. All the people I've approached, all my warm market, they're all salespeople. And it's, okay, sign me up. I've got people that would be great at this.
Yeah. And sign them up. But you're going to come across people who don't want to do this.
But I have no direct revenue then.
Well, like I said,
I would not get any residual from them.
You do. You get paid on them. They just don't count for your qualification as a personal customer. They count as a level 1 rep with their own personal customers, and you get paid on them. You get
What
paid.
do I get? Wait, what, am I paid a percentage of what?
You're paid a percentage of their income.
But I'm not qualified yet. Let's just, for simple
Let me share
simple
this first.
calculations.
Yeah.
0% are of my clients are revenue producers. 100% of my clients become marketers or
Yeah.
or downlines.
Let's for sake of this discussion, so you can see how the qualification works. Let's assume 100% of the people you approach say, "Man, I want to sell this, not use it. I want to become a rep myself." And they do, which isn't going to happen. But let's say they did. Everyone did. You earn for your first 60 days 20% of whatever they make. After that, you have to have at least 50 residual revenue to get paid through 3 levels, which is 5 pharmacy customers. 5. You and I both know, if you're a salesperson, you know 100% of the people you approach are not going to say yes to the business. They're not. So if they do, great. If they don't, they become one of your customers and away you go. So you're never going to have where 100% say, wow, this is awesome. I'm selling this. And if so, you'll have 1,000 front lines selling it. All your warm market's not going to say, I want to sell this, even if it is.
But I have 1,000 front lines where I'm not making any money.
Yeah, because it's not going to happen. As I just said, you go approach 30 people. And if you got 30 front lines, all with a customer of yourself, call me. I'll give you $1,000. Go get 30 customers who don't sign up as customers. They're only reps and they all became a customer of themselves. Just 30. And I'll give you $1,000. It's not going to happen. You know it and I know it. If you've approached 10 people, even if all 10 said, I'm going to do this, the reality is they didn't all sign up and do this. So it's your entire warm market is not salespeople. Most of them are, but you got a lot of warm market friends, families, neighbors who have nothing to do with sales. And they're also your warm market. So I would challenge you to understand that you do get paid 20% for your first 60 days, 20% of whatever they make on your first level. After that, you need at least $50 in personal customers. That's 5 people total who are on the pharmacy, or 2 healthcare, or 1 payment processing. So you're going to have some business owners who are not interested in joining our business, and they'll sign up to payment processing or the healthcare. So you'll find them. But hey, if you got 100 front lines who are all customers themselves, you're getting 5 customers is not going to be your hard part.
And the first 60 days, I don't know if you remember, my unique problem is that I originally signed up 8 years ago and never did anything but get emails for 8 years and just decided to become active.
Okay.
So I don't have the first 60 days. First 60 days, 8 years ago.
So then you got to go get 5 RX customers or 1 payment processing customer. You got to get 50 residual revenue. Yes, you do. Just like they're going to have to. But that's not hard to do.
Got it.
Yep. Thanks, buddy.
Sir.
Thank you, Leonard. Nice chatting with you again. Okay, who else we got?
That's it for hands up.
Wow, cool. All right. Let me just read some of the things. Cornelius, thank you. Appreciate the kind words. I'm glad you're still hanging on, and I'm glad you're being spoken to. That's awesome. Thank you. CreditWorks. This is Fletcher. This is awesome. Let's get, thank you, CreditWorks. Fletcher, thank you. Thank you, Letitia. I feel okay. Thank you, Cornelius, again. Glad you're seeing clearly. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. All right. Industries we do not fund. Okay, so we're back to BizOp. Good. Well, that's it. All right, guys. It really is this easy. It really is this fun. And it really is not for everyone. It depends on the type of soil you are. But I'm here to help you. And sign up for that RVP Go-Getters list. We're going to send out an email tomorrow. We wanted to wait till after this training. And so anyone who's on, please, let's game plan it. Let's get it going. Let's get you to RVP. And we're going to pull you into smaller groups, sessions, which are more direct affiliated on how to open your market, lead your market, and how we can help you do that. So I appreciate you all. Thanks for all your time. Thanks for the long meeting together. Appreciate you all. God bless you all. Have a great day, everybody.